Live. We are live. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I want to talk about Tectone. As a former avid techie watcher, getting chat set up so yeah, Tectone has been a little busy for a person who said that he would get off the internet. He's teched his last tone. I couldn't think of a better title. And I'll be finally getting to the Call of Shame stuff just to get that out of the way. There were a couple other things I wanted to go over, but all three of them require either more research or more time to come out, or more information to come out so I can have a more full, coherent stream on them. So I wanted to wait. I haven't been super productive. This is my first stream in like a week or two, because I haven't had a lot of time lately. That anybody cares. I haven't shown off my skill. There's no and I like games again. Honestly, that was a bigger reason than drama not happening, was that I literally could not find a game that I wanted to play while streaming at all. I just could not. Let me turn down the audio. After Cision fucked me up. How's the audio on that? Is that too loud? How's that coming? Yeah, it's kind of loud still. Oh no? No, that sounds better. I don't know, I actually can't hear it at all on my laptop, so I hope it's not too bad. But I'll turn it down one more notch. Yeah, so there has been a lot happening. I'm not gonna go over any of these videos. Either of these videos, because I am not, I guess, just like properly prepared for them. So before I get into it, we have the I am disgusted video, and that's basically him like talking about the Irina, the Ukrainian refugee girl who got like stabbed on a bus. And he's just like, everybody agrees that it's terrible. But he's like completely misinformed and just like spreading misinformation about it. Like, the guy had 14 prior charges. He had 13, and his last one was like 10 years ago. But I don't have like all the information up to like properly show it. So I recommend watching Queeman for that. Queeman did a great job with this. And then he talks about Charlie Kirk, and I think he's just becoming radicalized. Well, he said that he's been being radicalized for like 3 or 4 years, and then this is the tipping point. And I think Tectone has just been like a lunatic lately. So it's hard to take anything that he said like super seriously. And he's literally like, a hypocrite isn't like the right word, but it is very much like he cares so much when this like person died, but has like never talked about this stuff in the past, has never talked about like race issues in the past or anything else, and it comes off as very grifty because he's just like bored talking about gacha. And he's like tired of talking about gacha games, so he's trying to move into politics, but he's just like very misinformed. So Tectone is just like come across as like a super weird person where he's just saying like he's starting out with like pretty baseline opinions with like, this is bad. Agreed. Everybody agrees. She shouldn't have died. That was a horrible situation. But he's like, it would have been easily preventable with racism. And I'm like, okay, that's a bit much, buddy. And then the Goodbye Charlie video, I am just not equipped to talk about Charlie Kirk. Obviously, I think what happened to him is bad. That's what I said, I think at the start of the iDub stream, because that's whenever I last talked about it. Because it had like just happened like a few hours before that, and it was like bewildering, right? And I think largely a lot of the right wingers who are like calling for vengeance and revenge are like kind of crazy. In that aspect, it comes across to me as a bit like bloodthirsty. And just like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not equipped to talk about it, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore. What I do want to talk about is Tectone's new video, Failure. Because it has a very, you know, ominous name. It's named Failure. Is he a failure? Is he failing at life? What's going on with Tectone? Now, Tectone is, like, overall a pretty, like, I don't know. To me, he comes across as kind of an insecure person. I think he says so as much. A lot of his stuff is, like, I got buffed because I'm insecure. It did lead to a better life, and you should work out, and it is great for you, but I did it because I'm insecure. And he lies a ton. Did we watch that video last time I talked about Tectone? Somebody did a great... Yeah, I did. I watched, fuck, what was his name? Shamu's video on Tectone, where he's, like, lying about how much he likes Lolly because he's insecure about it. So, I want to see what he has to say about himself, about failure. What is failure for Tectone? What does that mean? And I'm actually going to switch this around because the talking head video, he doesn't have any editing. So let's have the game under and big. Listen to Tectone.
Hey guys, before anybody leaves a comment, yes, I'm going to regrow out my beard. I don't know what happened. I was going to come up with a crazy-ass excuse. In reality...
Oh, I guess he did shave. He looks... Look, Tectone always kind of looks like an oversized gnome. And... Did he get his eyebrows plucked? Does he have eyelashes? It looks like he doesn't have like bottom eyelashes. Maybe it's just hard to see in the video.
I was just having one of those things where it's like I was looking for my little razor head and I couldn't find it. So I said, maybe I can free it and maybe I can just clean it up. And no, I fucked everything up and then I had to make it all lined up. And anyways, now I end up looking like a extra from The Walking Dead who's like probably got a drug addiction. Hey.
Who's watched The Walking Dead in the last like 10 years? Season 3 was like what, 2010, 2011? When did Glenn die? That was like the last time anybody watched.
Anyways, I'm out here with my dog. You might see him in the background. His name is Mango. Hopefully you'll say hi. I just had kind of a moment where I kind of realized why is all this craziness happening in terms of what's going on in real life on Twitter and what's kind of been going on with a journey with me, as well as what might be going wrong in your relationship.
My relationship's pretty good. What's going on in your relationship, pal?
Yeah, we're talking about a lot of topics here today. This will hopefully be eye-opening to a lot of you guys. And what I kind of want to do today is talk about what's wrong with your relationship first. And then after that, I want to go into what's wrong with what has happened with the history of my career and to what is wrong with the world today. And just humor me a little bit. And once again, I'm not back to streaming yet, but if you want to see me be very angry, there goes Mango in the backyard. There's a hole back there, and he's trying to go to China, I guess, because maybe he's worried about the state of America. I don't know. Anyways.
Dude, what a weird and odd joke. Why are you fucking bringing up China? Not to mention, like, just getting off his stream does not seem to have helped Tectone. If anything, it's made him worse, because there's like a degree of being like terminally online, of just like streaming constantly for certainly. But like, let's pull up Tectone's Twitter. Oh, do I need to feed the cat? Dude, I might have to feed the cat. Oh, I just typed in Twitter into Twitter. I'm such a fucking idiot. Tectone. So this man talking about how he's not coming back to streaming because he doesn't think he's ready. Hello? Hello? There we go. Silence is not enough. You must speak your mind. Man, this assassin is getting gayer every second. Motherfucker is losing it at astronomical rates. Aura levels are at an all-time low. The truth is coming. So maybe that's this video but no, this video was released, what, like 9 hours? He tweeted that 7 hours ago. And he's like beating off with Destiny. And then he's like talking about the news and Hassan and just like he shaved his beard. This is like the one thing that would be like kind of acceptable in a break from Twitter or just like online in general. And he's like retweeting Nux Taku. And this is the thing. Tectone is always like reminder people have lost their jobs for saying there are two genders. The left cancels you for saying retard. The right cancels you because you're celebrating the death of an innocent man and encouraging to spill more innocent blood. The left, you see, we were doing literally the same thing. I think there are people on both sides that are trying to up the temperature and people on both sides trying to lower the temperature. I have seen both, but I definitely think if you're thinking it's only one side doing one thing and the other side doing the other, it's a bit, what's the word? I want to say cocked, but that's the one that's coming to mind. That's a bit, like, ideologically gridlocked? I don't know, I can't find the right word. And I don't know, it just feels like he's being like way too online. And I don't know, to me it feels like a grift because everybody else is getting successful from politics, so now Tectone has to get into it whenever he's never really been that much of a political person. And that if people like dug into his past, they would see like his actions do not align with his policies. Since we're running through a lot of Charlie Kirk stuff, go watch Queeman. Queeman did a bunch of videos on this and they're pretty good. So yeah. Really, I just think that whenever he said he's like stopped streaming, he should have just gotten off of the internet like entirely. Like no Twitter, no Twitch, no YouTube, no Kick, nothing. He should have just taken a fucking break. He should not be allowed basically at his computer. Go fucking shoot some guns, dude. Go play Silksong. Go fucking hang out with your fucking wife. Go hang out with Mango. My Mango. I realize this is like his job. This is his income, but he's the one who's taking a break from the biggest earning part of it. So like, just fucking do it, dude. Literally just go take a break.
What is wrong with your relationship? So you have a girlfriend. Yeah.
Oh, let me go feed the cat. Shit, sorry. She has food and water. She's just meowing for no reason.
Your girlfriend, right? With your girlfriend. And you're laying there and, you know, you had a long day of work and you come and you lay on your bed and you take off your socks and you throw them on the ground. Okay? You throw them on the ground and your girlfriend, out of nowhere, just she's like, oh my fucking God, are you fucking kidding me? And you're like, bro, it's just a sock. Why are you tweaking? While she's yelling at you, while she's crying, while she's worried about the future of your relationship. And what this is an example of is a micro versus macro issue. And in your mind, the only issue is the socks on the floor. In her mind, it is the history of you being a slob, her asking you to clean up after yourself.
Dude, what the fuck is going on?
And her worry of...
I gotta rewind because I missed the transition where he started complaining about his life.
What is wrong with your relationship?
What's that say?
So you have a girlfriend.
Censored.
Yeah. Yeah, you with your girlfriend, right? With your girlfriend. And you're laying there and, you know, you had a long day of work and you come and you lay on your bed and you take off your socks and you throw them on the ground. Okay? You throw them on the ground and you're...
Wait, what work are you doing? I thought you were on break. What fucking work is Tectone doing right now? Is he literally fucking... Did he pick up a part-time job while he's not making money? From Twitch? There's no fucking way. Like, what job is he... Like, was he just out in the yard doing shit and then he took his socks off? I don't think you should make a video like this. I don't think you should make a video coming out and fucking, like, berating your girlfriend. That seems kind of, that seems like really fucking weird, actually.
Your girlfriend, out of nowhere, just she's like, oh my fucking God, are you fucking kidding me? And you're like, bro, it's just a sock. Why are you tweaking? While she's yelling at you, while she's crying, while she's worried about the future of your relationship. And what this is an example of is a micro versus macro issue. And in your mind,
microaggressions?
The only issue is the socks on the floor. In her mind, it is the history of you being a slob, her asking you to clean up after yourself and your absolute refusal to do it, and her worry of you being a man-child because no matter how many times she asks you to do these little things, you don't seem to do them. And, you know, this builds up and this builds up and this builds up, and while you are only remembering this one instance, your girlfriend has what I like to call pattern recognition and is worried about the future due to what is happening now. Does that sound familiar? Mango! Good boy. It's a good listen. It's a very good listen. I know you really want to dig that hole, buddy, but we got to leave that alone, okay? You want to say hi to these guys? Look at those. Look at those. Those are your friends. Yeah, well, fun. Now let's talk about what went wrong with a lot of my
Oh, shit.
career. Well, okay, I mean, I say that, yet I'm one of the most successful creators, especially in the gacha space of all time, though. I mean, I'll be real, I'm moving away from that pretty quick because after
Yeah, when
some
was the
really
last
hard
time you even like
justifying
talked about
playing a game
gacha
where
for
it's
real?
gonna
For
make me
real?
spend $600 to get a new fucking character that's fun for 4 hours when I could go play Silk Song for $20. You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to wrap my head around.
Wow,
It makes me feel
Tectone,
like a
after
fucking retard, to be
years.
completely honest.
Dude, this is so fucking crazy. He's probably... Jesus Christ. Tectone is like a gacha guy. That is crazy that he's fucking giving up gacha now for fucking like normal games. That's just been like such like a normal thing, I think. Like a thing that like he's partly normalized is like the whole gacha thing, when that's been like a conspiracy. What the fuck? That's been like a an issue in the gaming sphere for like literally years, is like why all these companies are going into the gacha or like microtransactions, and now he's like changing.
I don't know if anybody else is feeling that way. Anyways, let's talk about my career. A man who's played many, many, many different games, and with each one of these many different games, I see an issue. It obliterates the company.
Also, I'll be real. I think the first time, he never said that he's gonna stop playing gacha entirely, but it feels like every single time he plays like an actual video game and not just fucking Genshin again, he's like, oh yeah, you know what? Actually, I like normal games more. And then he gets like a $10, $20, $30,000 sponsorship, more realistically, to play a gacha and to play it for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. And it's like, guys, I love gacha now. Gacha's my favorite thing. And he's willing to take those shitty payments. It's like, okay, dude, I totally trust what you have to say on video games. You're such a gamer. You're such a smart gamer.
Company, it obliterates the player base. It obliterates the fun. I leave, move on to the next. They get upset because I left. And then me be right about absolutely fucking everything. Sorry, that's just how it's been. I worry.
What has he been right on in the fucking like gaming sphere?
Recognition. And what I would do was I would play these video games.
In my opinion, Tectone is literally just like Jeremy Hambly 2.0. Like he's just turned into like go woke, go broke kind of, and he's like, I'm right because I'm correct like 4% of the time. And, like, the Go Woke Go Bro crowd totally isn't, like, by chance and 50-50. Like, I don't know, dude. I just feel like Tectone is just, like... It's like, I'm right all the time, guys. Except, you know, all the times you weren't. So fucking weird. It's so weird. I don't know. Like, I've said it before. I think being overconfident is, like... I don't know what the right word is, but like a popularity multiplier. So whenever you're correct, it's great because you fucking styled on them. You styled on those fools. Whenever you're wrong, typically people don't actually care that much, but whenever you're wrong, you like lose subscriber because you were wrong, you misjudged. And I don't know, like a few people, tens, dozens will do that, but like if you're wrong often enough, people will like just start to unsubscribe.
I would say, ooh, okay, well, they're doing a glider event where they're paying their creators nothing. That's
oh shit, I don't even have Techie on screen. Come on.
A creator health ordeal, so we should probably talk about that. Ooh, okay. So they're not going to nerf, or they're not going to balance their units. Ooh, that's very worrisome. Okay. Oh, okay. Once again, they're releasing a bunch of these characters. They only exist to sell on the character banner and to promote sales for that patch. And then they're forgotten about ever again, leaving the roster, you know, overly deep, leaving the player base's wallet overly empty, and the story, well, episodic with no real characters keeping theme whatsoever, and them falling to the wayside, and the game story becoming forgettable at best past the first 1.0 through 1.6 patches. I say this, I'm called overly toxic, and then I go on to the next game because the community's too fucking stupid to understand what it is that I'm saying, which is this isn't an issue yet, but it will be an issue soon, much like characters that have global passives. It's not a really good precedent to set, and it's not good for the future of the game. And when I see a pattern and when I see doom, I see it coming fast, and I warn them and they don't listen, and then I say, okay, well, I'll go ahead and go to the next game. Well, those games continue to meander. Every creator in the genre continues to fall off, and I will go on to the next because I like games that are fun, that treat their players well. And a lot of these games treat you really well for the first year, and then they stop, and after they stop...
You're talking about gacha games in general now? I thought this was about failure, but are you just like literally talking head about like the most recent issues in your life? Dude, have you become like a vlog channel? I thought this was going to be like a really dramatic thing, but so far all you've complained about is how your wife doesn't like it whenever you leave socks all over the place, again, and how gacha games aren't actually that good, Lamau. As if that's not like, I don't know, like a common consensus almost. Yes, people know gacha games aren't that good. They usually don't play them because they're good. They play them because they don't either know that there is other options. Like a lot of like teenagers, I think, are like, they're like, oh, I fucking love Genshin. I love my character in it, and I love the design of it, and that's so fucking cool. And then they're like, yeah, I'm not gonna touch like an actual RPG. I'm not gonna touch Silksong. I'm not gonna touch Mass Effect. I'm not gonna touch whatever. So that, I don't know. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we know this. You're kind of preaching to the choir here, especially on like classic video game stuff. On your girlfriend being mad at you for like leaving your socks around. I don't know. Is it just your socks? If it is just your socks, sure, that seems what I don't know. Why are you fucking talking about this?
That's when I leave. Very simple. Now let's talk about what's wrong with the world today. What is wrong with the world today? And I'm going to reference something fun.
Okay, we're getting to something important.
So communism...
Oh my god. Communism, guys. Holy shit. So are you talking about, I don't know, Dangism? You talking about Marxist... I don't give a fuck. Why is this relevant? Okay, let's figure out. Why does Techie care about communism in the year of our Lord 2025? Is he a Dangist?
Whole lot of sense. It does, and I really like breaking this down.
You are a Dangist counter-revolutionary, Tectone.
And an adult's mind. So communism seems really cool, right? It does. Communism honestly seems like the best choice that people can make for their nation. Let's just think about this. Everybody gets everything equally. Oh my God, who wouldn't want to be a communist? This is fucking great. Everybody gets everything equally. Everybody gets treated equally, and there's no problems whatsoever. Now, if you're a little kid, you might be hearing that say, wow, Techie, that just sounds really good. How do I sign up to be one of these communists?
Is he just literally like, fuck, this is literally like a 1950s fucking explanation of what communism is. Okay. I mean, yeah, I agree, it's stupid, but like, I don't know, this feels like such a grift. This feels like fucking Tectone is just, I'm gonna give the most basic, stupid explanation of something so I can keep my viewers basic and stupid.
Well, check out Hassan Piker's stream today. Man, it's been a fucking trip on Twitter, hasn't it? I can't believe my compilation that I made, by the way. I made that. It was great. Yep, hopefully I don't hear that quote unquote a while later. It's funny as fuck seeing Elon Musk tag Jeff Bezos over a tweet I made at Hassan. Hassan, you have no idea the monster that you've created in me. You really have no idea. Trust me, I am a man who can hate for a very long time. And people who have been following my channel
I don't even think he hates Hassan. I really don't even think he hates Hassan. I think he just talks about him because it gets him viewers. I don't think Tectone even like cares about Hassan or thinks about Hassan most of the time. Maybe he does. Maybe it is like something he's obsessed with, but I think that paints him in even like a worse light. I think he's just doing it for like the grift of, I'm going to shit on Hassan because it's easy to shit on him right now.
Have barely wronged me. Imagine how much I'll hate you when you were one of the biggest detractors in my life. Imagine when you've wronged me and caused me so much unnecessary harm over things that I've never done. Very fun. Trust me, you have a hater for life. It's great. And no, I will never move on. Absolutely not. I will be joining Nuxtaku.
Oh my god, dude. He is not escaping the lolicon allegations. He is really not escaping the lolicon allegations now. Holy shit, dude.
It's going to be great. Communism makes a lot of sense to children. They say, oh, well, everybody gets everything free. I really like that, teacher. How do I be a communist? And then when you're an adult, you realize, well, that does sound very good, but unfortunately, corruption exists, and this could never succeed without its errors in the modern life due to corruption and bad people. Bad people will always put the political leaders and all of the governors and all of the presidents and all of the figureheads above.
This is such a stupid fucking explanation about the flaws of communism. I hate to be that guy. I really do. I'm not a communist, but it's just like communism isn't real. It's like an idea. It's dreamt up by a German schizo who relied on fucking Engels for everything. Is like, Marx, I'm having many relationship troubles. Please come to the Hohenzollern Cafe on 21st Street so that you can help me. Meanwhile, Marx is like, Engels, I need $20 for rent to you. Will you pay me? I don't know. It's like, it can't exist because of corruption? No, communism can't exist because people like earning things. People like feeling like their efforts matter in the world. And whenever you have things that are given to people for free, that makes the people who don't feel particularly passionate about their efforts rewarding them feel better, which is true. But whenever there's like a lot of people who want to have more than other people. I mean, that's like, I don't know. I guess it's partly corruption. There's like so many flaws with this. It's just so stupid to rely on like, you can't have communism because it's corrupt, even though communism is actually super cool. It's actually all the corruption fault that we can't have it. When it's like, there's a great deal, many, many reasons why a system of free things does and doesn't work. And I think, you know, a general system is, you know, part and part. That's why you have like welfare, that's why you have retirement and social security and shit like that. Oh boy. It's just like, oh, I don't know, it just feels so stupid for him to explain it like that.
All of their citizens, thusly resulting in a dictatorship where all the higher-ups have all of the money and all of the citizens have fucking nothing, and there's no way to break out because communism sure is fun, which is why it's really not that good of an idea.
Does he realize that like the Soviet Union wasn't like the Soviet Union and fucking Maoist China are not fucking like communist? I don't think he does. Both of them had currency. Both of them had money. Both of them had jobs that you got money for. And there were some free things, but it's like there are so many issues with these countries that do not stem directly from fucking corruption, that do have inherent flaws with operations, even without corrupt. I don't know. It shouldn't even. Why are you fucking just talking about like communism is corrupting the kids? Okay, McCarthy.
I want to relate that to the left versus the right. Now, if you Google, and go ahead and have fun with this, you can Google this. If you Google the average age of a liberal, or the average age of a libtard, or the average age
okay. Wait, what's his answer?
Of a left-leaning individual, you will find out that they are amongst the youngest of any type of political identifier that exists here on Earth today.
Yes. Oh my god. Thank you, Winston Churchill. Not sure. Arigato, Churchill, Winston. Average age of a libtard. 4 years old. That's what I'm seeing. Pew Research Center 4, age, generational cohorts, and party identity. So, according to Google's AI, the term libtard is a derogatory and offensive slur used by some on the far right. Used by like everybody now. Thank you, Google AI. It says voters aged 18 to mid 30s favor Democrats. 35 to 60, I'm like abstracting here. Are kind of like 50-50, and then 60 plus is leaning more towards Republican. Okay. And the reason I said the thing about Churchill is he has like a famous quote that goes along the lines of if you're not a liberal whenever you're young, you're heartless. If you're not a conservative whenever you're old, you're mindless. And it's really funny because I don't know, this is something that I think was better about ye olden days. Ooh, slot machines. Is that, I don't know, it felt like they understood even more that there was like a balance necessary in politics where you need like a balance of left and right. You need a balance of like humanitarianism and like practicality. It feels like we don't really have that anymore. It feels like we need it all one way or the other. And I think that's because things have generally become pretty like gridlocked in politics. And so maybe that's why things have become that way. But I just like, I don't know. It feels like everybody just like, I want my team to win 100% and I want the other team to lose 100%. Because I don't know, part of that is because bipartisanship is like very rare nowadays. But I don't think the answer is, oh, bipartisanship is rare, then there can only be one winner.
And the reason why that is due to the fact that they believe in this very fun fantasy land that can never fucking exist. They say, oh, we want to progress. We want to be new. We want everybody to be able to do whatever they want with their bodies and their life. And while that sounds very good, unfortunately, that leads to a... Oh, hold up. Mango! Fuck, he's chewing on a stick and he's chewing on an acorn. Hey, buddy, look at this. Look at this. Look at this, puppies. Oh, you're such a good listener. Come here. Oh, look at this, baby.
Oh, my God.
Boy. I know. Your dad looks like a wife beater. I know. I need to grow my beard back so I can look friendly again. I look gay as fuck right now, Mango. I look gay as fuck. All right, let's get you out of here, okay? What is that? What is that? Hold it. Let's get you out of here. Come on. Sorry about that. I love my dog. Yeah, so it sounds really nice. Let's let everybody do whatever they want with their... Ow. Fuck, dude. Bit this shit out of my foot. Are you crazy? Let me throw him a stick. Well, that
oh, yeah. He's a puppy. Nice. He's teething. I wonder if Tectone has had a dog before. Do you know that they teeth? I kind of wanted him to finish that point, but okay. Look, people have bodily autonomy, but you also have the autonomy to make fun of it. So I don't know. And you make fun of people's like decisions, choices, what they do online, everything else, and you can do whatever you want with that. I don't think it's great to like restrict people because they're libtards.
Let everybody do what they want with their bodies. That leads women by the time that they're 19 years old to have slept with 100 different men. Their pussy be, you know, about as stretched out as an Asmongold video.
Okay, great. Jesus. This is something Queeman said, is that Tectone is like psychosexual, that he has like a weird sexual fixation on, I guess, like life in general. And I don't know, the more I like heard that, and then I listened to like how he talks, like I re-listened to some of his stuff, and I'm like, shit, that might be right. Like he just has like a weird fixation about talking about cocks and penises and vaginas and just like sex in general. I realize what game I'm playing. And it just seems very odd that he just does that like constantly almost. And he has to relate everything, not everything absolutely, but a lot of stuff he has to relate like some weird sexual thing going on. Like why, dude? You can fucking talk about stuff without talking about sex.
And the amount of cum inside their vagina being more than a Heinz mayonnaise jar, as well as them thinking, you know what I'm going to do when I
Good
grow
job.
up? I'm going to be an OnlyFans girl by the time. Like there's like 13-year-old girls with OnlyFans being their career route. Do we all not see what the fuck's wrong with that? We got little kids saying, you know, I played with the truck one time.
What is that noise? Oh, that's the fucking birds in his background. Oh my god, I thought there was a fucking crow in the house. Yeah, sure. That's it. That's an issue. Yeah, okay. So this is social moral degeneration. I got it. I understand.
Maybe that means I'm a boy. Then we have little boys saying, well, I sure enjoy playing with Barbie dolls. Oh my god, why is my mom chopping off my penis?
Munchausens?
Like, guys, hello? What in the fuck are we doing when we are this tolerant to where little children, 8-year-old boys, are getting injected with life-altering chemicals to change their fucking genetic code? I mean,
dude, their genetic code is fucking being rewritten, dude. Their fucking genetic code is getting rewritten. So then do you have a problem, like, why even bring that point up? Do you have a problem with the fucking Icelandics getting rid of autistic people? Or fucking, like, genetic therapy to get, like, the perfect blonde hair, blue-eyed child? I guess that's kind of a whataboutism, isn't it? But, like, I think that's a fair point, because Tectone does have, like, a really bad habit of only, like, going after problems on the left, which is, I mean, that's, you know, kind of fine. Everybody needs a critic. But, like, this is part of the thing that makes me think it's a grift, is he's old. Like, you can see literally the same or, like, extremely analogous issues with the opposite side, and it's just like, I don't care.
Guys, there are people who have lost their jobs because they said there's two fucking genders. Guys, there are people who have lost their jobs because they said men can't give birth.
I don't know about that one.
Well, now that I'm cosplaying Hatsune Miku, I'm going to sue you if you don't legally refer to me as Hatsune Miku.
I don't want this in my history, but I'm going to look for it anyway. Isn't there Tectone, like, in a maid outfit? Is this not, like, part of the social societal degeneration that he's, like, claiming against? This is the thing. This is one of the things that makes it so, like, terrible coming out of Tectone's mouth, is that he's, like, not for the exact same things, but certainly on a similar axis, I guess. He's fucking also a part of, like, the moral societal degeneration. He fucking likes gacha. He likes weird gooner animes. He likes lolicon. He likes Genshin Impact. He likes all this weird shit that would, in, like, every circumstance except for his, be considered, like, degenerate. And he's just like, we need to talk about the trans people. Don't focus on the lolicon stuff. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about Nuxtaku and Chadman and anything like that. Don't worry about the trans stuff. These can both be issues that you can talk about. I think the lolicon one, I think both of them can have extreme cases. I don't think it's a competition. But, like, I don't know, I feel like he needs to address some of the other side so that he can have some value to what he's saying.
Cool, thank you. Sick. Let's go find
Oh, it's still playing the maid video.
Sorry, princess. Sorry, Steve. That's not how the fucking world works. Jesus. And it's fucking embarrassing how long people have lived underneath this oppressive boot. Dude, I remember 2019 through 2024. Holy fuck. If you didn't appeal yourself to the fucking extremist left-wingers, you didn't have a career. I remember this one time, I had this girl, she came into my chat, and she was telling me about how she's been...
Okay, and look. This probably isn't, like, the dead ringer, but, like, does he not also acknowledge that a lot of anime communities have a lot of, like, pink pillars in them? And what are they called? Like, egg crackers? I don't think that's the right term, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Egg cracker. That would also kind of, like, lead to the exact degeneration that he's talking about. Like, is he not also participating in the exact same communities that he's actively criticizing? Or at least communities that are, like, extremely aligned in a lot of aspects? I don't know.
Been gaslit by her boyfriend. And I heard her out, and I said, you know what
it?
drives
Left
me
shift?
crazy? Not referring to you, by the way. When people misuse those words gaslighting, because I don't really think people know what that word actually means. Because I was on a tangent about words that people use incorrectly. And because this person's feelings was so hurt, because they thought I was referring to their situation, I got like 80,000 hate comments. Because feelings ruled the world over logic and facts. What the fuck are we doing? Do you really want to live your life according to your woman's period? You know how much dumb shit women say when they're bleeding out of their vagina? A fucking lot. And that's why rooting yourself in reality and saying,
Women period bad. Okay.
well, babe, I understand that you're upset, but that simply didn't fucking happen. And I'm not going to apologize for some bullshit that didn't fucking happen. It's comical. We are living in a world where younger children are very active on social media, where they're very reactive. You have the slow, logical part of your brain, and you have the fast reaction, emotional part of your brain. And we live in a fast fucking world where big, outrageous reactions get way more clicks than the article that's posted 3 days later with what actually had happened. And that is where everything is going to the wayside, because there's so misinformation is a breeding ground right now. It's insane how many lies get away with the public.
There are
It's
Mr.
insane how many
Information.
content creators have allegations that simply just don't fucking exist. I mean, I want to make this clear, guys, and I want you to hear about this. Some girl got sad one time and lied about a creator because he broke up with him, and now his career's over because one person lied. Because people hear that lie and they run with it so fucking quick before they listen to anything. It is. By the way, there's this one really fucking ugly political... I can't tell if you're a guy or a girl. I really got no idea. I don't even know what your name is. But you react to every single one of my videos. So can you just say, like, are you a boy or a girl? I really can't fucking tell. It's this one, like... It's like this one ugly troglodyte... Sorry, this fucking name, buddies.
Oh, who the fuck is he talking about?
There's one really ugly, like, troglodyte, like, hobgoblin. You look like kind of Asian, and you always react to my videos. And I always look at this, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Can you just clarify what the fuck you are? Because you're so fucking ugly that I can't even tell. And that's coming from me. But I'm sure everybody here knows I'm a white male. An ogre at that point.
What?
So,
Is he seriously just gonna leave it at that? Dude, I hate it. This happened with fucking AB too, where he's like, I'm gonna put out some tea after this, guys. And then he just didn't. Or, well, it was like pretty... Look, the tea was not steeped properly, okay? That's what I'll say. And fucking, he's like, there's this ugly hobgoblin dude. I'm not gonna say his name, but they're ugly, and I don't know if they're a guy or a girl. That leaves, like, so many people that he could think are a hobgoblin, so I don't know. Thanks, bud.
A world where
Thanks,
the youth
buddy.
is currently ruling, and they don't have the pattern recognition.
The youth is
that
ruling?
the
Dude, we
older
live in a
folks have. They
geriocracy.
don't understand the destruction and the despair and the doom and the down.
Did he seriously say the youth are ruling right now?
Ogre at that point. So, we live in a world where the youth is currently ruling, and they don't have the pattern recognition that the older folks have. They don't understand the destruction and the despair and the doom and the downfall of our nation that they are going to bring when they celebrate what they celebrate, when they act what they do, because they have no knowledge, they have no wisdom, they have no life experience, and they're the type of people who think that positively reinforcing your friend when they're
I have no idea what he said.
just because they're sad was the right thing to do. No, the right thing to do when your friends fuck up is to hold them accountable. That way they don't make that issue again.
Oh, fuck.
You are not a good friend because you reinforce someone because they're sad. And if you can't tell someone the truth, you're a horrible fucking friend. And that is the reality. You are not good because you get to tell everybody, do whatever you want. No, you're horrible. This leads to enabling psychotic behaviors. And I'm sorry, anybody who says yes, do whatever the fuck you want to do, and you're enabling their mental illness. If you go up to a schizophrenic and say, yes, listen to the voices, are you a good person? No, absolutely not. There's a lot of mental illnesses on this earth that you clearly tell people to not listen to, but there's one that people really say, yeah, listen to those voices. And we all know which one I'm talking about.
What?
You're not a good person if you do that. You're just not. You're not. You need to understand that some people need fucking help. And when you're the person who says, yeah, do whatever you want, live the life the way you want to live it. I'm sorry, when you're enabling Becky to suck her 47th dick that week, you're not a good...
Wait, I thought you were talking about trans people. You're actually talking about... You're actually talking about fucking OnlyFans? Okay. Not the direction I expected it to go, but okay.
Friend, you're just a fucking whore. You're not. You're not. When you tell everybody, yes, 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 queen, you do you. Everybody else is wrong except for you. I'm sorry. You grow the most in your failures. And a lot of my closest friends are always there to make sure they know when I fuck up. Just like when I messaged Shinya and he said, hey, man, you really need to grow that beard back. And I said, yeah, I fucking do. Oh, Jesus Christ, we're still here, huh? I bet people are like, I couldn't even get through this fucking video, bro. He didn't have his fucking beard. The longer you live, the more that you will see the same thing. And you should proceed with caution when you do see the way that patterns line up. And guys, I'm sorry.
It's all about pattern recognition, guys. It's all about pattern recognition.
Pattern recognition so long that Charlie Kirk died, people celebrated his death, and they're now shocked why they're losing their jobs. And they're saying, well, the right's so against cancel culture, but now you're canceling us over this? I'm sorry.
Oh, shit.
Making someone lose their job because they said retard, because they said fat, because they...
Whoa! Thank you for censoring that. Jesus.
...said that men can't give birth is a lot different than, oh, yes, this guy died. Quick, guys, kill more like him. Then we'll finally win. That's psychotic. Yes. Telling people to go assassinate people because you have a difference of opinion is psychotic. There's a lot more that I could say, but I think you guys understand where I'm going at with this. And I think you guys get the message, so I'll cut the rambling here. But your mental illness, your ignorance is not our responsibility. Change is coming, and change is coming fast. And I think it's for the best, because God knows we fucking need it. Bye-bye, guys.
Okay. Ooh, Axeman debates Andy Pants Gaming again? Okay. That was an enlightening video, Tectone. That had a lot to do with failure. I thought that there might be a moment of self-reflection in there. But nope. So then what failure was that on? Dude, what a weird fucking video. He complains about his wife. And then he fucking talks about communism. Gives like a weird like middle schooler's definition of communism. And then he fucking talks about trans people. Dude, he is such a grifter. He talks about the moral degeneration of society. Meanwhile, he's a lolicon playing gacha games all day. Yeah, okay, bud. Yeah, you really Oh my god. Really living what you preach. Really living what you preach. Holy shit. Okay. Wow. That kind of threw me for a loop. What an idiot. What an idiot. Just like it's what makes me think it's a grift, is because there's no way he genuinely believes he has like zero fault in any of this. Maybe he knows and he's just like not saying it. Or maybe he like doesn't care and it's all a grift, right? That's like one of the things. Like, I don't know. How could you possibly? I don't know. I think people can do what they want with their bodies after they're fucking 18. That's my middle of the road position. Whatever. Very risque, I know. Very whatever. And I don't know. It feels like he's kind of masking like a complete elimination of transgenderism entirely, but as like we're doing it for the kids, because he's not bringing up like, you know, adults can do it, adults have full bodily autonomy. Talking about OnlyFans, it's like, I don't know, what's your solution, Tectone? Do we outlaw OnlyFans? Do we do we imprison Israel's biggest supporter, the CEO of OnlyFans? What is your stance, dude? As if he's also not like a crazy fucking gooner. I don't know, just such a fucking like hypocrite in a lot of ways, and just like an asshole. Oh, can't go down there. Okay. Also, just like, I don't know, not wanting to get into like any of the real issues, the real problems of like a lot of pre-18 transgenderism being like Munchausens or like weird doctors or therapists. I have like a personal friend who's like, yeah, my fucking therapist convinced me to do it whenever I was like way younger. It's like so weird. It's one of those things where he could probably have way better criticism and way like more accurate opinions if he actually talked to a trans person, but he just like wants to grift. Even if there's like, just, I don't know, fucking talk to, God, is there, who's the one that got recommended to me? It's like Eli something? I don't know. He could probably even talk to fucking Blair White or something and have a better opinion. I don't know. I haven't thought about Blair White in fucking 2 decades, I don't think. Oh, shit. Okay. Alright, let's move on to the next set of videos. This is somebody I think Tectone has watched. This is somebody that I know Asmongold has watched. And we're actually going to switch back around to big screen, little game. Although the game will be a bit bigger because depends on like the visuals ratio. So there's this person called Call of Shame. And they got like a big jump during the Riley CS controversy. Basically, there's this streamer who had extremely good aim. And there was a question popped. Is this person cheating? This situation completely outgrew Riley CS to the point where the question like barely matters anymore in reference to Call of Shame. Because Call of Shame is just automatically like, yes, they're cheating. No, they're not cheating. They like contradict themselves. I want to watch an example video. So one of the unique things I bring to this situation is that I'm actually a computer scientist. I know what Call of Shame is talking about a lot of the time. I've dabbled in pro gaming, although for RTS games and MOBAs, but not FPS games. I'm not good enough at them. But I think I got to like the lowest ranked silver in League, and I played in a few Hearts of Iron competitions, and I watched a shitload of StarCraft. That's my gamer cred. That's my gamer cred. That made it really funny, I bet. So cringe. So let's watch an example video of Hall of Shame before we get started. This is his, I think, second or third newest video. Hall of Shame is a commentary and investigative critique channel that focuses on the gameplay behavior and public conduct of streamers. All content reflects our Okay, sorry, I already got locked up because there's a post from a couple weeks ago where he's saying that Call of Shame is now the sole owner of the channel. Yep, here. So, great job. Our commentary, is based solely on publicly available material. It's not. And is intended to encourage critical thinking. It's not. And allow viewers to form their own conclusions. Content may include elements of satire, parody, and humor. I'm not reading the rest. Oh. I like full health,
the
didn't I?
average Warzone streamer has the intelligence level that rivals that of a toddler, and Joe is no exception.
Can kill me in one
To
hit?
be frank, I've seen more muscle mass on a pork sausage. This is the same guy who hides in the back of chicken trucks on land and has, let's say, questionable aiming habits. And now, once again, he's trashing anti-cheats. After spending the better part of an hour whining about Guardian and calling it terrible, he turned his sights on Ricochet.
And I gotta be honest, the problem is,
What is Guardian used
COD?
for? Guardian
is
COD.
such a casual game. And again, combine that with a terrible anti-cheat and SBMM, people think they're way better than they actually are, so they see good players.
As Joe starts yapping about how great streamers supposedly are, he conveniently forgets to mention that the cheater Oakley is already on yet another account, since Ricochet just suspended his main. Keep an eye on this account, LXSS. The game has just started. They're still airborne. No kills, no engagements, nothing. Now Oakley, up until this point, hasn't interacted with the game at all. But watch what happens the moment Ricochet detects his first interaction. He opens the very first chest and boom, instantly booted by the Ricochet anti-cheat. So when people claim they're being punished because of player reports, they're lying to you. Let's run that back again.
Like, no lie, there's no user guys on here. I might just come help. Actually, I lied to you. What the hell is this for?
You're the supply box.
Yo, that's under. Wait, is that underground? No, it's outside. Is it? No. Oh my god. Oh.
Okay. Did he just not open a chest?
Joe, we need to get a bunch of kills.
This rat knows he's cheating. I mean, he has to know,
What?
right? But he'll never admit it.
So that was just like, was that not like a complete misdescription? I thought he just said that he got banned after opening a chest.
And of course, his pathetic team couldn't even qualify for the EWC when playing outside the comfort
His
of their
pathetic
bedrooms.
team.
Yet the moment they're back home, suddenly they're stomping the World Series of Warzone, reaching the finals with ease. But sure, it's always the anti-cheat that's at fault. In the very next game, Oakley just switched accounts and was right back playing. This time, it was on an account called Jay, but something was detected and he was booted.
Wait, was he? It looks like the account just says Joe-wo.
By Ricochet again. And the Ricochet logo is clearly visible, which means the anti-cheat has made a successful detection.
Oh.
At this point, it's downright embarrassing.
Okay.
No way, bro. Guy, my goat's up here.
So his friend got banned. Okay, got it.
I'm good up. In the storm, I think very close right here. Huge. Guy like very close left to me, okay?
So wait, if he's already gotten banned, why are you still playing the clip?
Hey, you gotta tell that guy, Joe.
Hurt.
Got one last guy on me, one guy on me.
Hurt. Guy here dead.
I hear you. One guy on my second floor, okay?
Hurt.
And once again, he's back on yet another account, while Joe Woe and
Wait,
Z-Laner
is
just
he?
turn a blind eye. He's back.
One guy on my second floor, okay?
So he went from Jay.
And once again, he's back on yet another account.
Is this even
while
the
Joe
same
Woe and
video?
Z-La- And
I hear you. One guy on my
Subs
second
today,
floor, okay?
14, 219 kick,
And once again,
3,075
he's back
Twitch.
on yet another account,
Let's
while
say
Joe Woe and
15.
Z-Laner just turn a blind. Once again, he's back.
One guy on my second floor, okay?
Is that not a different shirt? So there he's like, he has like a plain white shirt.
And once again,
Maybe he just backs up? His room is exactly the same. Trying to figure out if it's the same fucking... Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. If you look at the map in the top left, if you look at the map in the top left, this is like the end of a match, is it not? And so then,
One guy on my second floor, okay?
Hurt.
and once again, he's back on yet another.
so maybe this is like in another match? And then, so that's, okay, so it's a different match.
Another account, while Joe Woe and Z-Laner just turn a blind eye. Soon, they'll be competing in the World Series of Warzone,
That's some guy named Scripture, okay.
trying to pocket hundreds of thousands of dollars from Activision. I'm not making this up. You can see the evidence right in front of you. So what's the excuse now? Mass reports? Well, no, because I just showed you he was suspended without even firing a shot. You can all see this here, so that excuse they used to have is now gone. He was suspended because I believe he is cheating by using third-party software to gain a competitive advantage over other players. This can happen because Ricochet has detected something on his PC, or his aiming patterns have triggered Ricochet's AI from previous games. Now, Z-Laner and Joe are both whitelisted, or they will both be facing the same humiliation as Oakley. I mean, things like
Why?
this can't be just ignored. But the streamers, they are silent. It's hilarious. I managed to get Oakley's gameplay so we can see. As soon as he lands, opens a chest, he's suspended moments later. Let's watch.
How about a little bang, little bang, yes. He's grabbing that first one.
I'll grab the first one. The contract, brother. The contract. The first grabbable item.
Okay, so I think you guys get the idea because I kind of want to move on because this is boring. This is very much like second monitor content. And it's just like, why are you even like showing me this? This is so like contextless and you're just showing me like random clips. This is already halfway through the video.
And it's solid at catching this kind of behavior. Now, I have to say that getting shadow banned doesn't make you a cheater. But getting hit with the Ricochet logo multiple times like this, there is absolutely something on your PC that the anti-cheat doesn't like. In my opinion, he is using third-party software. These streamers refuse to play by the rules. As he approaches the room, he snaps his aim directly onto the enemy. So he's either running wall hacks or using an audio exploit, both of which give a massive advantage. No wonder streamers call them audio wall hacks. But what do you think? Is he walling, exploiting, or do you believe he just got lucky?
So is this the guy who keeps getting banned? I think so, yeah, that's Jay. What do you guys think? Okay, great analysis. So you guys can see like a bunch of problems with this already. The editing is kind of messy. Not that I'm good at it, but it's definitely like showing me us like random clips. The scripting is kind of odd. The voice is obviously AI. And it's just in general has a lot of issues that you just would not expect. Choose the greater evil. What's the elephant? Oh, at least in the same room. So, we have this. Remove 20 to 30 ramble, but removed old cringe Supergirl videos. At least he admits it. So, there's this guy who made a kind of awesome takedown video called Burin. And he talks about how Call of Shame is AI generated. I don't think I ever got to this, did I? Pretty sure I didn't.
Is the big spook nowadays. Companies across the world are racing to AGI as fast as they can, while average, everyday people are starting to use it for things a normal Google search can't achieve. Like creating legal documents or getting complicated legal advice, creating music or images at a whim, reading out a script for you to use in a video, editing your video to give it flashy visuals. People are starting to use AI for more than just information, and they're starting to use it for complex tasks. Yeah, so anyways, one of the largest channels talking about the Riley CS cheating situation is just AI-generated slop.
From a band for literally no reason.
There's nothing wrong with me cheating. What is wrong with me cheating? All right, cool.
Cheaters have been punished by the men and women from Ricochet. All streamers are guilty until proven innocent.
I've seen a lot of comments asking for my take on a guy who
I'm gonna be real, his editing before was better.
calls himself Cat Girl. I found it interesting when this player snapped to a rock. Because with computer...
Also, how do you not just like go absolutely insane with the repetition of this fucking music? It is awful how many times this song gets repeated. Because I think it's like not even a full 2-minute long song. I think it's like 1 minute and 30 seconds, 1 minute and 20 seconds. And so you're hearing this same song. It's also repetitive within itself. So many times in a single video. Imagine watching multiple of these. Asmongold.
This shape would be perfectly aligned. That little detail definitely caught my attention. Don't you dare sit there with your ass hair on your head and tell me
Your
this is authentic gameplay.
ass
Anyone with a
hair?
brain can see this is cheating. Can you imagine?
Ass hair.
Telling your girlfriend you're part of the aiming community, what do you think she's going to do? Call the cops? Of course she will, and rightly so. Take this guy, for example. It's rumored that he told his friend he was part of the aiming community and that he uses a floating crosshair
I'm
on
part
his
of
screen.
the aiming community. We basically use crosshairs on our screen.
His friend
There is so much cringe
reacted
like
the way
this
most
throughout the
people would,
older
and rightly
videos.
so. Are you part of the aiming community? Didn't think so. And if you are, do your parents know? I've built my own client-side server-integrated anti-cheat system. It was capable of detecting every known cheat in Call of Duty right
He
at boot.
did not do
I also
that.
created
He
Guardian
did
TrueSight,
not do that.
which uses computer
He created Guardian TrueSight. He did not do this.
vision to detect subtle aimbots and soft aim in Call of Duty. It measures aiming velocity and applies entropy analysis.
Entropy analysis. What the? And it does not do that. What even is entropy analysis? That's not. It is real. It is real. But that's like an understandable thing. It's one of the things that people will say. They're picking out like a real term to sound smart, but if you ask them to explain it, they can't get you anything but either the Google or the fucking AI definition of it. Let's look up what is entropy analysis. Entropy says measures disorder, uncertainty, or the amount of information in a system using mathematical formula like Shannon's to identify patterns, detect anomalies, understand complexity across various fields. Is it applied to security for bot detection and malware analysis? Because basically what you're detecting for is probably
It's information theory to track
a degree of like, what's the word? You're looking for like a degree of uniformity across different like players, and whenever somebody acts in a very specific way multiple times over and over, that's probably more so what you're looking for in entropy analysis. Is like, oh, how close can we get to a single form of action repeated?
aim decay patterns over time. And as for the argument that less skilled players can't spot aimbots, let me be clear. I've won countless ladders in old school Call of Duty competing on game battles.
Countless ladders, dude.
In the world. I'm Call of Shame. God bless every one of you on the other side.
On the other side? What about before the other side? What the hell?
Ricochet is cool when it bans the fools, but when it bans a streamer, yo, that shit's whack. Streamers can hear me across the map. They messing with sound and all that crap.
Now, I had heard the name
Yeah, it's so
floated
fucking
around the
cringe.
controversy when it was first popping off. I saw them referenced as a reliable source by people who thought Riley was cheating, like 10IQ Gaming, and cited by people who thought Riley was not cheating, like Carl Jobst.
Wait, what?
The channel Call of Shame, who seems to be very knowledgeable
That's where
on
it came in,
aimbots,
right?
and to be honest, a lot more knowledgeable than most people I see talking on this matter, claims that the snap to the rock was not cheating at all.
But a friend had sent me over one of their videos that was also sent to them as a reliable source, so we decided to watch it together with some friends. Instantly, I could tell that something was off, and the longer we watched, the more red flags started to pop up. Easily provable lies about credentials, lying about being a real human voice to skirt the new YouTube guidelines, lying about being in their PhD research, and so much more. So we're gonna go over Call of Shame's channel to show just how dishonest and fake his entire shtick is. The first thing that really stood out to me was claiming he was a former pro Call of Duty player competing in game battles back in 2011, even showing suspicious screenshots of tournament dates, as well as trophies lined up for all the events he supposedly won. Now, I checked these dates against real COD events that happened in 2011, and none of them line up at all. These events were in February and October, not in July. Like, look at these trophies. These probably aren't even real. This is what the real 2011 Call of Duty XP trophy looked like, and the differences are quite stark.
So, also, one of the things, he shows, like, an achievement trophy, Call of Shame. Burin shows, like, an actual, like, 3D trophy. So it's very difficult to be like, is that real? Is that not real? Because one of them could just be like a digital thing given to anybody who participated in the event. Versus an actual, like, actual fucking trophy that you give to people. This is, like, one of the weirder points I wanted clarified.
Ranked second in the Xbox 360 Call of Duty World at War Arena? This is not real. This is not an event that existed or a leader.
Also, yeah, that is not real. You can go to, like, any achievement page list and you can see, like, Call of Duty World at War achievements. And you can just, like, see, what was the name of that one? It doesn't even have a name. That's another problem. Arena. It just doesn't show up if you go to any achievement list. And so, like, the only thing could be is, like, oh, it's like an account specific achievement, but I don't think that's a thing. It might be. It could totally be a thing, and I'm just, like, totally unaware, but I'm pretty certain that it is not. It is not real.
Leaderboard anywhere that I can find. It's completely fictitious. After he shows this likely AI-generated image of an inbox of some sorts, he claims to have been on the best team in the world, while also showing the emblem of the 2014 Olympic MLG crossover event.
Earning thousands of dollars competing back on the Xbox 360. I played for the best team in the world. I've been there, I've done it, and I know exactly what cheating looks like.
Now, to anybody familiar with COD Pro Play at the time, they know that the best team in the world can only mean Optic Gaming, and Optic Gaming happened to have won the 2014.
Oh, is this why fucking Call of Shame is going after that Optic Gaming guy? Or he said that Joe Wu was an Optic Gaming, right? Is that why he's going after them?
Olympics event, making Call of Shame one of 4 possible people: Nadeshot, Proofy, Scump, or Clayster. All of these players are still active and obviously not Call of Shame. This is such a bold-faced lie that it's hard to believe somebody would actually put it in a video unless they had zero idea of what the pro scene looked like at the time. The only reason it's here is to farm fake credentials from people who won't bother to look into the claims. But he doesn't claim to be just an ex-COD pro, he also claims to have been a threat analyst at a high-end security company called Symantec. a high-end cybersecurity firm
not
that works
real.
with companies like Norton.
I worked for Symantec as a threat analyst. I understand.
Yeah, that's
how
just the
detections
fucking
work.
Norton
I've spent
logo.
decades on the front lines of cybersecurity and anti-cheat technology.
And he also claims to be in his PhD research for AI anti-cheat, constantly bringing up his white paper that he supposedly submitted for peer review.
In fact, I've written a full white paper on computer vision cheats, the dangers they pose and how anti-cheat systems can effectively stop them. It's available on my website, and I've also submitted it as part of my PhD research for peer review. I'll keep you all updated on that process.
So not only was he a COD pro from 2011 to 2014, and he was a member of Optic Gaming, and he worked as a threat analyst for Symantec, and he's just now in his PhD research for AI. It is impossible for all of this to be true. What he's suggesting is that either Scump, Proofy, Clayster, or Nadeshot had a side gig as a threat analyst and was doing their PhD research all while streaming and playing games without anybody knowing.
Yes.
Or this is all just a lie.
No, there's no way it's a lie.
So what about that PhD paper? He will constantly promote his website and his AI anti-cheat, Guardian True site, but when you actually visit the website, it's only one page, with the 4 buttons at the top only bringing you to different parts of that one page. With the 5th button, the white paper button, just linking you to the PDF he supposedly made and submitted as part of his PhD research. But when you actually look through this PDF, none of it looks authentic. First of all, there are no actual names attached to the paper, just his company name that I literally cannot find anything about. There's no copyright noted for any of the images they include, the formatting is all wrong, there are super weird graphs about human aim versus cheat aim, where it's just a waveform with equidistant peaks for human aim, and the straight line...
What the fuck? This makes literally 0 sense. This is actually just gibberish. Buffer zone is detecting subtle slowdown / artificial aim. Sensitivity zones around a target. So it's saying... that the like large window around a person is detecting artificial aim. And then proximity zone is detecting subtle, so that's both detecting subtle slowdowns each. Wait, what? That's the same thing. Why would you have 2 different bounding boxes detecting the same exact thing? Unless you're a fucking amateur and need to redo the... I have done this multiple times in programming. Unless you're an amateur and you need to do the same thing, checking multiple times. But like also that's another thing that makes it a lie. Is like an amateur would have that, and that would be like, all right, you know, I have to do it for it to function. It needs both to function. It's like the Valve thing, but real. So there's like a thing in Valve where it's like, do not remove this coconut. If you remove the coconut, the entire system dies. That's like a thing that can happen for some programs. Because somebody puts it in as a meme whenever they're tired or drinking, and then they're like, oh fuck, what the fuck happened? I need to keep this project rolling. But then you would also have like a zone that would detect sharp movements, which is what you'd be looking at like the gun for like detecting aim or whatever. Like the gun of like the player.
For cheats. But due to the help of some friends, I was actually able to find a real paper written...
Which you also wouldn't do, right? So this is like the thing, is like he's trying to make it about how computer science, like computer vision, would be the thing they would use to detect if somebody else is cheating, and you would only need to do this on like the player side, the client side. But first off, a lot of that is already kind of sent from player side. Like that's the purpose of fucking kernel level detection, is it's detecting on your kernel if something is happening. But like, if you're using computer vision to detect if somebody else is cheating, that means that they don't have the thing, or you have like an extra layer to it. It just seems like just extremely unnecessary, but also like extremely false positive heavy. That seems like a complete like bullshit thing. I mean, like, you know, every security system is probably like heavy on the false positives at first. That's typically how security works. But this is like insane. Because what it's gonna actually detect is it's gonna send if people have like extra high sensitivities moving on your screen. If you just have a friend and they're just like looking around quickly, it's gonna be like, that person's cheating, ban them. Or like alert for ban or whatever. Jesus. Okay, and then this is robust vision cheat detection in competitive gaming. Also, computer vision is pretty slow. You're not going to be having somebody's GPU running computer vision while playing a game. Especially not on like 60 frames a second. And, you know, a lot of people are playing at way above 60 frames.
About this topic. Notice anything different here? Notice the names of real people tied to university or company names? Notice the copyright cited for the images they include? Proper formatting, proper source list. Notice how many other academic papers are linked in these sources. Now go back to the Call of Shame paper. Do you notice anything different? Ah, yes, random articles and YouTube videos cited in his sources, and his sources are above his conclusion. My guess is he fed a lot of this to the AI to help him spit out this paper. And while unreliable, I ran large sections of this text through AI text detectors online, and basically all of them said that large portions of the text are 100% AI generated. It's not irrefutable proof, as these things do miss often, but it's there to chew on.
Okay, so he's not like strongly tied to that.
This AI anti-cheat he's supposedly making? What is it?
And that's another thing with AI is like, because you feed something into an AI, it could refeed that same thing out and then get picked up later by a detector. So it's like, you know, it isn't a 100% thing, but yeah, it is something to chew on.
What does it do? Well, according to him, it's a client-side server-integrated anti-cheat that you can download to spot and protect yourself from cheaters.
Look, I've built my own client-side server-integrated anti-cheat system. It was capable of detecting every known cheat in Call of Duty right at boot. I know what I'm talking about. It's like someone driving a
right
Porsche
at boot
and then trying to tell someone.
Wait, if it's computer vision based, why is it right at boot? You can't do that. Computer vision would be active or post detection. You wouldn't be able to use that in... What the fuck? This is just wrong.
On how the engine works with no clue about engines.
And what does server integrated mean here? Integrated with the game servers? Because I'm highly doubtful of that. The only thing this can mean is that it's a client-side and server-side anti-cheat. But in all of his explanations of this system, he only talks about visual detections with AI and not hardware or software detections.
I also created Guardian TrueSight, which uses computer vision to detect subtle aimbots and soft aim in Call of Duty. It measures aiming velocity and applies entropy analysis, rooted in Shannon's information theory, to track aim decay patterns.
Dude, he's literally giving like the Google AI definition of the fucking thing. Holy shit.
Over time.
What he proposes is that the AI will detect where a player lands their crosshair or shot within a given area, called the bounding box, and using entropy analysis.
I also want to share a new update I've added. Remember, entropy is based on aim decay. It's not about the hits themselves at that exact moment. It needs data to create a model, and that's where these come in. They're called data nodes, and their purpose is to update entropy based on recent aiming activity.
Update entropy, dude.
So how do we collect aiming samples? We capture them during a short time window, but only when the player's aim enters the bounding box of an enemy. During this collection window, which you can see here, we log data based on confidence scores. Green is very strong, yellow is average, and red is poor.
Wait, what? Poor what? Aiming?
We collect aiming samples. We capture them during a short time window, but only when the player's aim enters the bounding box of an enemy.
Okay.
During this collection window, which you can see here, we log data based on confidence scores. Green is very strong, yellow is average, and red is poor.
Poor what?
A poor reading might be when the model isn't sure if it's aiming at the head or upper torso.
Oh, so it's purely whether the model thinks it's actually detecting something?
Sometimes just a pixel difference.
The problem is the UI he constantly overlays.
So, okay, that's not even the problem. The problem is he made a fucking... He didn't make an AI-generated thing fucking AI analysis tool that says that actively gives the I am wrong actually as an answer to anything. What the fuck? How is that a useful tool if any of its answers can be I'm wrong about this?
Relays onto gameplay is not consistent, and it feels more like a slider he moves when he puts it over gameplay he thinks is cheated.
When my cheat analysis comes in, instantly, he's detected.
What was that
for
beep?
soft aim.
Oh god.
And just like that, we can expose soft aimbotting with confidence.
Notice anything interesting
No,
about this Battlefield
you
5
can't.
gameplay? So he forgot to change his model from Battlefield 6. He talks about using this model in one of the first videos he made on Riley, saying computer cheats will just pick up the rhombus above players' heads, the little orange indicator. He then shows footage of Riley flicking to the rock, and shows this.
They often just look for that rhombus. That's why I found it interesting when this player snapped to a rock. Because with computer vision, this shape would be perfectly aligned.
So that would be like aligned with like a player torso. Wait, let me get this guy. Okay, gotta look at this footage. So when aligned with the secure the point rhombus, there's a player in between them and the point. Okay, that's that's very compelling evidence that there is a player in between Riley and the point, and they're aiming at the point. Okay, cool.
That little detail definitely caught my attention.
Except the biggest problem is the rhombus is always at the center of the screen. It's the objective marker. It's even at the center of the screen for the footage he or his AI chose to put here.
I thought that was just like
Given
a
all
point.
the lies about the credentials, the constant flaws in his analysis, I'm highly suspect he has any idea what he's talking about, or this AI anti-cheat.
Wait, why is
does
postal
anything.
paused?
When you try to go
Oh my god, has it
download
been
the
paused for
software,
that long?
It just gives you a dead link. But why do all this? Why create a fake anti-cheat? Because as long as you can create a long enough paper trail, most people won't put in the effort to reach the end and get to the
Been
final
playing
page
this
that
entire
says
time.
bullshit on it. You would be surprised how many people just fall for this.
The channel Call of Shame, who seems to be very knowledgeable on aimbots, and to be honest, a lot more knowledgeable than most people I see talking on this matter, claims that the snap to the rock was not cheating at all.
Now for the audio. You can pretty quickly tell it's a text-to-speech reading a script. Maybe not at first with certain videos, but there are too many inhuman anomalies that make it a bit more obvious.
I think it's pretty obvious. I think the only way for you to not think this is an AI is if you've like literally never heard an AI before. I don't think there's any way you can mistake that as like not AI.
Take on a guy who calls himself Cat Girl. But I know what you're thinking. What about things like computer vision? And you'd be absolutely right to call that out. But he's what caught my attention.
My computer vision can detect the gender of the person behind the VTuber. Jesus Christ.
Of Warzone streamers coming to his defense. Like, why? You don't know this guy. Don't you dare sit there with your ass hair on your head and tell me this is authentic gameplay. Anyone with a brain can see this is cheating. I mean, what are we even talking about here? I'm Call of Shame. God bless every one of you on the other side of the screen. Take this guy, for example. It's rumored that he told his friend he was part of the aiming community and that he uses a floating crosshair on his screen.
I'm part of the aiming community. We basically use crosshairs on our screen.
His friend.
So cringe, dude. This joke is just so fucking bad. It's just like, I'm part of the aiming community. I aim. And so it's like, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you. Yeah, that's super funny. That's super empowering. That's super fucking fun and cool, dude. This is such a bad joke. I'm tempted to repeat what Chud Logic said, but
Did the way most people would, and rightly so. They keep telling us that this Cat Girl guy.
Another thing you'll notice is that whenever there's a clear
This
transition
cat
in the video or
girl
script, the AI's
guy
text-to-speech alters ever so slightly. This happens in all of his videos multiple times, which is odd, because a month ago, Call of Shame made a video saying they would stop using AI voices in their videos, and instead have them read by a member of the Call of Shame team. This is that video segment.
YouTube's upcoming policy changes may restrict channels from using AI voices.
Oh my god, that was the previous AI voice? Dude, they had so many options and they went with that one? What the fuck?
Which could have affected us making our videos. To stay ahead and make sure there are no issues, we'll be switching from an AI-generated voice to a real human one. This way, we can continue bringing you content without interruption.
What you're hearing now is the new voice for Call of Shame. Yes,
He doesn't
this
even
is
use
my
that
real
voice. He does use...
To be precise, it's actually the voice of one member of the Call of Shame team who
Oh,
has been
God.
appointed as the official voice of the channel.
But this is not his real voice. This is just a better text-to-speech model, and you can see it making the same mistakes multiple times for the rest of the video. You would be surprised how many people just fall for this.
The real reason for this change is to comply with YouTube's
Oh.
policies and the recent updates regarding how AI channels operate. Here at Call of Shame, we've exposed countless cheating streamers, and many of them have been permanently banned as a direct result of our videos. Banned live on stream. Same goes for Adrian, and honestly, a whole bunch of these Warzone streamers have all been banned because they were caught cheating, all just to gain an unfair competitive advantage while playing Call of Duty Warzone. And that's just a few examples of what we've accomplished here, all directly from
I
this
am
channel.
so tempted to say
But
something
ever
that
since
would
we
get me
introduced
fucking
Guardian
banned
Labs, things have
everywhere.
changed even more. Built
Okay.
using the same neural network technologies powering Tesla's autonomous vehicles, TrueSight brings cutting-edge AI to the fight against cheating. Just like Tesla's systems analyze and respond to real-world driving situations, TrueSight analyzes gameplay in real time.
Call of Shame said this because YouTube rolled out new policy regarding AI in videos. This obviously affected his bottom line, so what did he do? He lied and got a better text-to-speech model while pretending to be a human. Again, straight-up deception. And stupid deception. Because he'll constantly make the AI say ums and ahs and pauses to make it sound more like a human reading a script. Or this is an AI feature that he's not really controlling.
Team EXE or XE.
Nah, I imagine he's gotta be. Like, it's gotta be something that he's literally only putting on so that he can help deflect the YouTube AI detectors. There's no way that he's actually, like... that he's unaware of that happening.
See, whatever you want to call them, I don't really care. They had to make a public statement. Don't you dare sit there with your ass hair on your head. I'm Call of Shame. God bless every one of you on the other side of the screen. Little detail definitely caught my attention. But these detections are poor, so it's in, it's finding clumps of leaves and everything.
He will also use AI-generated music.
Prove
for
you're not
all
an
his
AI.
videos,
Say a slur.
repeating either the same Cornhub rock track over and over again.
Wow, I flicked straight at that guy through the wall. Oopsie.
Or the triumphant cinematic orchestral music over his descriptions of his anti-cheat.
In fact, I've written a full white paper on computer vision cheats, the dangers they pose and how anti-cheat systems can effectively stop them. It's available on my website.
But the worst offense, an absolute crime against humanity, AI-generated country music centered around cheating in Call of Duty. It is an absolute assault to the senses.
It's so ass. Hallucinations? No damage? I like AI hallucinating. Aimbot hallucinations.
He originally posted this 10
Is he
months
pro
ago,
or
and at the time,
anti-Ricochet? I
non-existent
don't
studio and
understand.
Dev accounts telling them they can use it, but only if they credit.
Ricochet is cool when it bans the fools, but when it bans a streamer, yo, that shit's whack. Streamers can hear me across the map. They messing with sound and all that crap. They lie and cheat and stream all day. When simps will watch, and streamers will pray. When they are banned, it's just a mistake. Because all streamers cheat, according Joe, give me a break.
Yeah, sure, buddy. But now that I'm through thoroughly character assassinating him, what about the actual claims he makes about other people cheating? He has hundreds of videos, so to stay topical, we'll cover what he said about Riley CS. In his first video, he claims the first clip in Riley's viral montage wasn't actually cheating, that it was real gameplay inserted into the montage to throw people off.
Breaking down the first part of this montage, you'll see he's snapping all over the place. At first glance, this creates the illusion that he's cheating. I mean, you'd think that, right? When you slow it down, you can see that this person is actually snapping past the targets and correcting their own bad aim. They're snapping to nothing. And no, that's not cheating.
Not
Cheaters
cheating.
often include clips like this in their montages so that absolute morons can try to break it down and say, see, he's not cheating. As if that somehow debunks the whole accusation.
But that the second clip of the snap to the rock, as well as the rest of the montage, was cheating.
But no, that's not how it works. The rest of this video is absolutely cheating. These little clips are deliberately placed into the footage so defenders can point to them and claim innocence. Check this out. This is a snap, no debate. I can't say for sure yet if this is an aimbot or some other third-party software until I finish my data models and start examining this with TrueSight. I mean, what are we even talking about here?
I have no idea. That was like a non
Showing the
sequitur.
computer vision cheats about rhombuses I showed earlier.
Computer vision cheats, however, are lazy.
What are we even talking about here, guys? You're talking about fucking TrueSight.
That's why I found it interesting when this player snapped to a rock. Because with computer vision, this shape would be perfectly aligned. That little detail definitely caught my attention. But these detections are poor, so it's finding clumps of leaves and everything. And this is why you can't just detect shapes. Now, I'm not saying 100% that he's using this. I can't. My model for Battlefield isn't fully ready yet, but when it is, he'll be the first one I run through the AI engine.
But as you can remember from earlier, Carl Jobs repeated that he thinks the rock clip isn't cheated.
Claims that the snap to the rock was not cheating at all.
And that's because Call of Shame contradicts himself constantly, like claiming in his second video that nobody ever had an issue with the flicks or snaps. But in his first video, he is complaining about the flicks and snaps.
Check this out. This is a snap, no debate. I can't say for sure yet if this is an aimbot or some other third-party software until I finish my data models and start examining this with TrueSight. I mean, what are we even talking about here?
But this video hardly goes over any actual evidence for cheating, just resorting to playing the montage with no commentary and random comments about how it's so obvious and anybody denying
It's
it is
so
gaslighting.
fucking obvious, so true.
So yeah, I think we can pretty much all agree that he is absolutely cheating. I mean, there's no debate. Let's just call it what it is. The moment he moved towards the guy behind the rock was pretty much enough for me to stop watching this clown. He's done. The rest of this video is absolutely cheating. Check this out. This is a snap, no debate.
What the fuck?
I mean, what are we even talking about here?
In his second video, he brings up Shimmy, a player recently exposed for cheating for clips and cheating in aim trainers. He uses the fact that Shimmy was also on Riley's team, Team EXE, as even more proof that Riley was doing the exact same thing as Shimmy.
That team had a player caught cheating using aimbot a few months ago and was forced to put out a statement. It's just even more proof that this Catgirl person was doing the same thing as the other guy in their team was doing previously.
We'll talk a bit more about Shimmy later when we get to one of Call of Shame's more recent videos, but I do want to address the guilt by association claim that's used here. Being on a team with
Please
somebody who
do, I
cheated
want to
is
hear
not
it.
Evidence of cheating yourself. Team EXE isn't literally an esports team like Optic Gaming mentioned earlier, playing at event stages or playing in tournaments. It's a group of players who farm clips in different games, posting the highlights to Twitter and YouTube. And it's important to note, Shimmy was exposed by his own team and other people within the aiming community a month after joining that team, and then further exposed by people like Viscos for speeding.
So he's only part of it for a month, and yet he wants to use some fucking enormous allegation of like, guys, their team was harboring a cheater, and then like as soon as they found out, they're like, no, you have to leave. This is the only time we'll ask nicely. Get out. Okay.
Speeding up times in aim trainers, as well as putting out a fake apology. I highly recommend her video again, as it covers a lot of topics like how people spotted his cheats and his history of lying. But back to the video. He then brings up the viral post from Enclave Emily about being a former cheat dev, and saying that Riley was using a mouse simbot with a 2 to 4 FOV and minimal recoil reduction.
A recent post, a former cheat developer, someone who actually designs and codes the exact same cheats Catgirl is accused of using, has claimed that Catgirl is running a mouse sim aimbot. This type of cheat subtly locks bullets onto targets, making it nearly undetectable to viewers. The developer even listed specific field of view and recoil settings, showing precise technical knowledge of how it works. That first-hand expertise adds serious weight to the accusation, making it far more credible than a simple rumor.
The problem is, mouse simbots with FOVs like this will snap the crosshair to the player closest to it. And as I showed in my last video, if you're claiming this clip is cheated, it cannot be with this sort of aimbot. And funnily enough, the clip he shows right after saying this is that very clip.
You have to look at the sheer amount of actual evidence. I don't know why Warzone streamers like Huskers and Metaphor are blind defending this guy.
There isn't any actual evidence of Enclave Emily being an actual cheat dev, other than copy-pasting some Python code that apparently can't even physically run. Copy-pasting cheats 5 years ago doesn't make you an expert on spotting cheats for human aim. Using this person as a credible source to appeal to authority only works when the arguments that follow are actually sound. But Emily is making a video on Riley, so I guess we'll get maybe a long-form video out of it explaining what she... Oh, okay. She says it's going to be rather short and that she doesn't want to go super in-depth. Well, I guess we'll see. He also brings up that Riley was banned on Twitch for playing Titanfall 2 sometime in 2024.
Catgirl was actually banned for 7
Where's
days
the
on
fucking
Twitch back
key?
in 2024. Now back then, Twitch were extremely lenient for cheating. So if you got a 7-day ban for cheating, you were absolutely 100% cheating. There is no debate. This was a 7-day ban for cheating in a multiplayer game. And people are still defending him. Wake up, you bunch of morons.
But as I think we've learned from
I'm just
Riley's
not
recent
looking
ban
in the
on
right
Twitch,
spot.
Twitch bans are not really a good criteria to use to determine if people are actually cheating. Call of Shame also brings up the crosshair overlay for the first time in the second video, showing the Twitter clip of the guy who went viral attempting to explain what this software is.
This individual has been caught using overlays that are banned in many first-person shooters. Overlays that EA themselves will ban you for.
This is actually a screen crosshair that you download and it helps you shoot straight. Just in case you need help, you know, finding the center of your screen. This cracked god at gaming has to have a crosshair overlaid on the screen still to this day. Yeah, moving on.
He tries to make fun of her by saying, why does this cracked gamer need to know where the center of their screen is? But oftentimes, games can take away your crosshair during certain moments, and knowing where the center of your screen is can be important to some players. Or they might have a favorite crosshair from an old game, like Counter-Strike or Valorant, that they want to port over to other games that don't have as
Yeah, I think that's
accurate
totally
crosshair
reasonable.
support.
A lot of
They
people
then
do
claim that
like
crosshair overlays
tape,
are against
or they'll do like scotch or painter's tape. Not typically, unless you want to ruin your fucking monitor, but it has been seen in the past. I have seen that in fucking Counter-Strike. I've seen it in, I want to say, I don't think I've seen it in Halo, but I might have seen it before. I've definitely seen it in Call of Duty, and I guess now I've seen it in Battlefield. So yeah, it's not crazy. It's extremely uncommon, but it's not like insane.
against EA's terms of service.
Now, there's a lot of stuff online saying that you can be banned from games for using these crosshairs. There's even an EA thread specifically saying, do not use these in our game.
And what I find extra hilarious is all of the language surrounding these accusations are like this. There's a lot of stuff online that say some games can get you banned from this, and constantly citing the EA's terms of service saying they explicitly do not allow these overlays. But what does the actual EA terms of service say? An unauthorized third-party program is a third-party program or file, such as an add-on, mod, hack, trainer, or cheat, that EA believes enables or facilitates cheating of any type. 2. Allows users to bypass, modify, or hack the game's interface, environment, protections, and/or experience in a way not expressly authorized by EA. Or 3. Intercepts, mines, and otherwise collects information from or through the game. This is different than what is presented. There is no hard policy by EA banning crosshair overlays. HUDSite, the crosshair overlay Riley was using, does have on its FAQ page that users should comply with the terms of service of whatever game they're playing. but that HUD site is not a cheat and doesn't alter anything within the game, and is an overlay similar to Steam or Discord overlays that exist today. Stating that in Battlefield 2, some players got manual bans for screenshots of custom crosshairs, but nothing recent as the trend has become more popular. EA and Battlefield devs are well aware of the controversy, and she has not been banned. This whole example is just a goalpost shift from accusing them of blatantly aim hacking, saying, oh well they use this, so what else are they using? Which isn't evidence. Later in the second video, he brings up that Riley did another handcam stream after the accusations, claiming the hand movements don't line up with the gameplay, and providing 0 examples of this,
What am I supposed to do
saying,
here?
make up your own mind.
Tried to do a hand cam video, but as many people pointed out, the hands don't match the gameplay. Make your own mind up. The original video is on his Twitter in case anyone tries to claim I'm manipulating the clips. They always pull that excuse when they're faced with absolute factual evidence.
Afterwards, bringing up the Rock clip yet again, and stating what he thinks the defense argument is.
Now, here's what they're claiming. This is a general summary of all the videos I've seen defending him. While shooting at this enemy, a ping appears on the radar. This little thing right here. According to them, that's why the streamer snapped to the rock but missed the enemy. And because the radar ping didn't align with the snap, they say he's not cheating. That's their defense. They believe that if you have the voice, you can push a false narrative to the masses. And it's nonsense.
But this is not the defense being made. The argument is that Riley's to the right of the objective, with the objective on the left, with pings on the minimap showing that players are there. And when you watch the footage from before the clip starts, you can see multiple pings of where players are on the objective. So Riley's flick here isn't to the guy on the minimap, it's to the general direction of where players are. These are the information or gamble flicks I talked about in my first video, which is why the flick itself isn't onto any player and the micro adjustment right after is to shoot where players could be. But Call of Shame claims she flicked to the rock because she knew the players were there because of cheats.
In my opinion, this cheater flicked to the rock as he knew where those enemies were. That's why he adjusted his aim.
Claims that the snap to the rock was not cheating at all.
He claims Riley can have no knowledge on where players are here, so it's clearly cheated.
Oh.
Not only is that not true as I've
Fuck
addressed, but there's a bit of a self-report here. You do not need to know where players are to make flicks like this. People use these clips or clips of Riley shooting through smoke to say, look, they can't even see them, so how do they know where to shoot? But visual information is not the only thing you use to determine where players are to shoot them. You can deduce where players are without seeing their player model, and the big spook for some people is you can flick to people and kill them with 0 knowledge of where they are. Sometimes you make a lucky gamble flick and you happen to be close to a player. So simply saying, well how could they have known, demonstrates a lack of knowledge around high-level aiming. Go ask a Counter-Strike player who played in the era of Mr. Stewart 2000 how often they spray into smokes simply because of trauma.
But Stewie earned his now infamous moniker for the way he played.
I mean, yeah, I played a bunch of Counter-Strike competitive, and that was just like a common thing that you were supposed to do. Because a lot of smokes, people run through. That is like almost the point of smoke. And so, like, it seems like cheating, but it would be pretty common to get, like, an op kill down mid in Dust 2, even though somebody put smoke down there. And you would also have, like, the complete opposite happen, where somebody would throw smoke and then run the opposite direction, and then you just hear, like, 5 to 10 op shots go off. It was kind of funny. Yeah, that's pretty, that's accurate.
Found one piece of utility in particular.
I'm gonna go beat him when you're there.
He's gonna come through this.
What's up, motherfucker?
Oh my god, I hate Stewie.
In the third video, he again brings up the crosshair overlay, saying Riley uses this because they struggle to aim.
Uses an overlay in games like Battlefield that places a little floating crosshair on his screen because he struggles to aim.
And the overlay he shows is just hilarious.
Yeah, it's like
No
a
one in the
fucking
world is ever going to
anti-aircraft
use a
site.
crosshair
Holy
like this.
shit.
It would be an active disadvantage. But Call of Shame just has no idea what these overlays look like or what they're actually for, so he just had an AI make him a funny looking crosshair.
Can you imagine? Telling your girlfriend you're part of the aiming community, what do you think she's going to do? Call the cops? Of course she will, and rightly so. Take this guy, for example. It's rumored that he told his friend he was part of the aiming community and that he uses a floating crosshair
I'm
on
part
his
of the
screen.
aiming community. We basically use crosshairs on our screen.
His friend reacted the way most people would, and rightly so.
He mentions a new monitor releasing with AI tips, showing a Score Esports video saying it could eventually give you pseudo wall hacks.
And it doesn't stop there. Some monitors can now even detect enemy players using computer vision and display them on screen for you. That's cheating, plain and simple.
What if I told you that there's a new gaming monitor that uses AI to let you, well, cheat? From pings to potential pseudo wall hacks, MSI's new monitor comes with built-in generative features that provide players with extra information about their opponent's whereabouts.
You might see little red skulls that pop up, like at the top, or down at the bottom, or off to the side.
But the footage shown is a game I played quite a bit, League of Legends. And what the
Don't admit to that. Don't admit to playing League of
big
Legends.
red skulls on the screens for the directions of enemy players you can already see on the screen. This feature is so obviously trash to anybody that plays League. It's big distracting bubbles that no player would use because you can just see them on the screen. It would be an active detriment and extremely annoying. It's just AI slop to try to sell a monitor with features that are clearly half-baked.
Yep.
He includes this to try to sell the story that people are pushing the lines in terms of what cheating is, and that this means they're using aim hacks or wall hacks in game as well.
First, they used LUTs, also known as lookup tables. They used these to pull out players from darker areas of the map. When those were banned, they claimed, "But my monitor can do it." Then they used crosshair overlays. When those were banned, again it was, "But my monitor can do it." Now it's wall hacks and permanent radars, and the excuse is still the same, "But my monitor can do it." Stop pointing to hardware to justify cheating. Just play the game like everyone else.
Well, wait, if you're in like a match and then there's fucking other people who have that monitor, then and you don't, then you're playing at like an active disadvantage, right? Like taking it at face value that the monitor isn't dog shit. Probably very much is. That just seems like the next advance, I guess. It seems like the monitor is dog shit, so it's like, who cares anyway? But like, just play the game like everyone else. Well, nobody plays the game the similar way. Is somebody cheating because they have like a higher DPI mouse than you? Is somebody cheating because they have like a more tactile keyboard? Is somebody cheating just... I don't know. There are so many different things because they're playing at like a 4K resolution and you're playing at 2K or 1K. I know like a lot of I think like a lot of competitive scenes will have fucking, here we go, standardized equipment. So like, is that not like a huge issue? I feel like there's casual play and then you have like casual competitive, which is what like actual like going into a competitive match is more like, is you're playing with like casual competitive. And then whenever you're playing in like an actual tournament, you know, like you're at a scene, that's whenever everything gets standardized. So I feel like, I don't know, it doesn't matter that much.
My point is this: if these people are already using crosshair overlays, what else are
cat
they using?
ears?
They've already demonstrated they have no integrity.
He then wheels out another straw man to beat up, that the people defending Riley claim she just got lucky a few times in a 7-hour stream, but normally they play terribly because they have terrible aim.
They also claim to spend hundreds of hours perfecting their aim. But when exposed for cheating, suddenly they're just normal players that got lucky, and only 5% of their 5-hour stream makes it into a montage as they have terrible aim. So which is it? It can't be both.
This is not the argument. The argument is that the playstyle is generally not a good playstyle for high KD ratios or competitive gameplay, but is centered around getting flashy clips. Riley will intentionally walk into large groups of people and flick around to try to hit all of them before they realize and kill her. There are tons of examples of this sort of thing happening, and you can see the clear intent that she's going for crazy clips. Riley's aim isn't bad, it's just that going for this sort of gameplay will result in you dying a lot, and that a lot of your gameplay will not look like this. It involves a lot of gambling, and it involves a lot of other players just not really being the best. Next, he says that the flicking and snapping around isn't a problem, saying they misflick because they have bad aim and have to rely on crosshair overlays to flick properly.
Let's clear up a common misconception about what we're seeing here. When a player snaps their crosshair, those quick, sharp flicks of the mouse, that's not the problem. Nobody has an issue with fast mouse movements. The defense that snapping proves skill is just gaslighting the community. In fact, in Riley's case, he snaps all over the place and still misses. It shows his natural aim is actually
Whenever he
poor.
says that, I just think
This
of
is why he has to-
Morbius. He said it's Morbin time, and now I just morbed all over the place. Great reference, I know.
To depend on crosshair overlays.
That nobody had a problem with the snaps and flicks, despite him having a problem with the snaps and flicks.
Check this out. This is a snap, no debate. I can't say for sure yet if this is an aimbot or some other third-party software.
That's actually more of a
until I finish
flick
my data
than a
models and
snap,
start examining
okay?
this with true sight.
That's more of a skibble than a flick, if you know what I'm
talking
saying.
about here?
But Riley's misflicks aren't bad aim, they're just evidence of human aim. One of the best aiming fundamentals is called the Bardoz method. This is a method for trying to increase your skill in
I'm
static
not in the
clicking
aim
scenarios,
community. I have
but it
no
also
idea what
applies to
any of this
target
fucking
switching.
means.
I'm Bardos. I have 20 years of experience playing FPS games, and I have a few top Kovac scores. Why are static dots even useful? Why would you waste time trying to improve at static dots? Well, of course, you wouldn't do it just for the static dots themselves, but you would do it because static dots kind of translate to some kind of aiming that you often use in games, which is basically flicks to a stationary point. For example, in a competitive tactical FPS like Counter-Strike or Valorant, you would use that kind of movement to move your crosshair between places. That's what people usually call crosshair placement, but if you're standing still and you hear a step and you need to move your crosshair somewhere else, you would do it with basically a static movement. The idea is to actually make a very fast flick, as fast as you can, with your arm, and then you will land somewhere close to the dot, possibly even on the dot once you get very good. And then, you have to wait for your brain to realize where you landed, or kind of predict where you're gonna land based on the movement, depending on how good you are. And then micro-correct. Micro-correction means that you're basically flicking.
This is just like aim trainer stuff. Past it.
But after saying the flicks aren't the problem, he said the real issue is the perfect micro-corrections.
And that's why you still see occasional misses. If he snaps without firing, there's no aimbot at work, so the crosshair can drift off naturally. It's only when he commits to the shot that the software engages, delivering accuracy no human hand can replicate. This is why he doesn't miss a bullet at long range, but misses so many up close. Bottom line, the snapping isn't the cheat.
As I discussed in my first video, after slowing down the clips, you can just see that's flatly not true. Riley's micro-corrections often miss and overshoot the target, but I'm sure he'll slow it down and show these. Oh, okay, we're just moving on.
Yep.
The on-fire micro adjustment.
Because he doesn't actually do analysis. That's not like a thing that he wants to do or does do. He just shows something, says it's analysis, and then moves on. There's no actual like interpretation or like commentary on what's happening besides it's happening. And my anti-cheat detected that it's actually happening. Whoa! This looks suspicious, so I ran it through my anti-cheat. My anti-cheat says it's full of fucking bullshit, okay? My bullshit detector went off, and my anti-cheat that I made myself said it's bullshit. Okay, bud.
After speaking with multiple cheat developers,
he claims that this aimbot only activates when the trigger is pulled, that the flicks are all real, but then the corrections to the player are aimbot.
this cheat is set to activate on fire. That means the snapping only gets
On
him
fire.
close. But the instant the trigger is pulled, the software takes over, sliding the crosshair onto the enemy with flawless micro adjustments, then holding it steady for the shot.
Which is totally possible. This is partly what Shimmy did back when he was cheating. But again, the clips he shows just blatantly contradict this claim. Riley flicks to the right to the player by the down plane and misses all over the place while shooting the entire time. He then puts a small square over Riley's cursor to show a theoretical aimbot FOV, again contradicting his claims about the rock clip, suggesting that she snapped to this player at the rock.
Watch as he snaps to the rock. The moment he starts firing, notice how the gun begins to climb upward, drifting toward an enemy he can't even see yet. Then the enemy finally appears, and watch what happens. He runs directly at them. But the critical part is this. Only when he pulls the trigger does the aimbot kick in. Those micro adjustments suddenly lock his aim perfectly onto the target.
Whoa,
It
dude.
doesn't get any clearer than this.
Claiming she ran directly at him while she's moving left to clear LOS of the rock,
Yeah, exactly.
not directly at him, and claims the aimbot only locks on once the gun fires. But again, in the footage, you can see Riley is aiming to the guy before she even starts firing.
Yeah,
She
it's
tracks
just
him in
like
the
a
direction he's
complete
running.
misalignment between what the clip is and what he's actually saying. Because I don't even know how you get like this, to be honest. Like, it's just so dumb. It's so, like, dumb on the face of it. Like, you would notice this in editing, in processing. Unless you literally just do not care. Which it doesn't seem like he does.
Running and only pulls the trigger once she's already on him.
The aimbot only works if the enemy...
It is, like, the absolute laziest fucking content ever. And, like, the thing is that this would be fine if... Well, I mean, it would still be an issue, but it would be a lot less of an issue if fucking... I was gonna say Elon Musk, actually. I don't know. Maybe he is. But if Asmongold wasn't fucking, like... fucking blowing up, smoke up this guy's ass. If he wasn't fucking... That's not the right word. If he wasn't, like, inflating this guy... to, like, way higher heights than he would actually have been if Asmongold wasn't fucking watching him. That's not the only issue. He's getting, like, some organic fucking watchers. But I think it's, like, a lot less. Like, he has, I think it was only, like, 10,000 views on that video that we watched. And he has, like, 80,000 subscribers. So, hopefully Buren's video and the people that watched it actually made, like, a difference. I hope so. This guy fucking sucks.
Enemy is inside its field of view. Now, because the enemy was outside the FOV, it didn't lock on, even though he is firing his weapon. The moment he pulls the trigger, the enemy is inside the aimbot's field of view, and instantly it locks on.
Except this isn't how soft aim with FOV works. Call of Shame has already declared this is what she's using, except shows footage of Riley snapping over and away from the player closest to her cursor, and suggests she snaps to the player to the right because the box he made slightly overlaps with the player at the very edge.
It's so dumb on the
Watch
face
as
of
Riley
it.
snaps to nothing. Look very closely. Did you see the enemy?
He then shows the clip of Riley tracking in the APC, claiming once she pulled the trigger, she doesn't miss a shot.
And watch closely. The moment he lines the aimbot over the enemy and pulls the trigger, suddenly he doesn't miss a single bullet.
Which is just factually not true. As I showed in my video, Riley misses a few times in that clip due to overtracking. As well as showing the clip of Riley running up the hill to shoot a player in the back, claiming the FOV is not on the player so it doesn't track until the 6th shot. Which also just does not line up with the footage shown.
In this clip, watch the first 5 bullets. They all miss completely, because the enemy is strafing left and the aimbot's field of view isn't on the target. That forces Riley to miss his shots. On the 6th
It
shot,
forces
the
Riley
target
to miss
moves
his
into the
shots.
field of view.
No missing can be an organic. It has to be that Riley is intentionally missing the shot to throw, to either start the aimbot up or is throwing off people from realizing.
And that's when the aimbot's micro adjustment takes over.
As far as I can tell, it's the 4th or 5th shot that gets the first blood tracer here. So this is when the accusations started to become about the fabled sophisticated soft aim that can replicate human aim and is super hard to detect. First of all, let's look at the actual footage of actual cheats that were available in the Battlefield 6 beta. They are super blatant.
Yeah, but it's not subtle cheating like Riley's doing. It's different cheating to the blatant cheating. Okay, you could have put music or something here.
But even looking at sophisticated hardware soft aims in games like Call of Duty, you can see how blatant these sorts of cheats still are.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the side.
Oh.
Contact! Enemy soldiers nearby. Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
At the very end, he undertracked slightly, only because he took his foot off the DX Racer Hackerman's foot pedal. You can still see him locking onto hitboxes and tracking them, as well as locking onto points despite shots still bouncing mid-chest. If you're going to claim Riley is using this sort of soft aim, then you need examples of other players using similar cheats where the gameplay looks the same. This is a tool we will use for later. And in the final section of this third video, he shows the footage from Riley's follow-up hand cam stream.
This cat girl person put out a new clip trying to prove he doesn't cheat. But let's be honest, this is just normal gameplay. All I see is someone standing still and spraying with a light machine gun. Everybody does that, it's nothing special. Where are the snaps? Where's the aimbot? It's a desperate attempt to convince people he's doing the same thing. Where are the snaps? Where's the aimbot?
I am truly baffled how this section could make it into a completed project. The reason this footage so blatantly contradicts the words said is because Call of Shame was too lazy to actually go to the Twitch VODs and pull some footage. He just took the footage Riley uploaded to Twitter, which was a highlight reel, and overlaid it onto the script he had generated for him. He's not even intelligently dishonest. You could have just pulled the 10IQ Gaming and went to her VOD and pulled out footage of deaths and bad plays to suggest Riley was just a complete bot on day 1 of the beta, and that they got cheats on day 2. But my theory is he didn't even manually edit this video together. He had an AI do it. With the constant odd cuts and weird shifts, I'm highly suspect that a human actually went through and manually created this. As I've been going through this video, I've had to stitch together a lot of things to transfer from one thing to another, and I can't believe he would watch this back and see this and just be like, no, this is fine, this is good, we can
That
just
is true, that could be. I don't think I remember hearing that the first couple times I watched it. Yeah, that could be true. I didn't know that AI actually got complex enough to even edit together videos, but maybe it is just a totally AI farm where it's doing literally everything. I kind of doubt that, but I also, maybe it's a mix of things actually, where it's almost algorithmic, where you have a few videos fed into the AI, and then I need a cold drink. You have a few videos that are fed into an AI or into a Python script that then runs it through an AI that then will try to put relevant together from about what it's watching. But the problem is that this is a lot of shooting game gallery stuff. Shooting gallery game, whatever. And so it's having a hard time putting it together because it's probably made for speech, not actual video, even though it'll technically run on MP4s as an audio format. And so it's trying to cut these together because it seems relevant, but maybe it's not for real. But then I don't know, there's some stuff that's too accurate for that. It could be part and part, where it's there's a person behind it who doesn't really give a fuck. Also, I just noticed a thumbnail for a recommended video. The worst podcast in all of YouTube, and it's a filtered but kind of clay-like fucking lookout live cast. I'm gonna go get some water. It is hot. Back in action.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine. No snapping, bro. No snapping whatsoever.
Cheaters have been punished by the men and women from Ricochet. All streamers are guilty until proven innocent.
All streamers are guilty.
I'm bringing you the latest breaking news on Riley CS, the rage hacker who went viral on social media for using aimbot. His defenders are still pushing the false claim that anyone can flick like that, But what they fail to understand is that the flicks aren't the issue. It's the aim correction that exposes the aimbot, not the flicks themselves.
We start the fourth video by repeating that the flicks absolutely aren't the problem, and quickly pivot into Riley's game crashing during the beta.
I've done extensive research, and here's what I've uncovered. During the first beta, he was using the name TTV Riley CS. This was the account caught aimbotting, with clips even posted to social media. As you all know, the video caused a massive uproar because it clearly proved he was using cheats. But getting back to the alleged ban, look at what happened when Riley tried to play the beta in the second week after the video went viral. Every time he got into a match, he was kicked out within seconds.
Did my game just fuck?
Oh yeah, after the clips went viral. So that's obviously puts like a huge confounder into the equation, where now there's like the people are aware of Riley as a cheater, even if they're not a cheater, but they're aware of them as one. So that throws everything into fucking like unfairness against Riley, because now there's one, you can't even get evidence for whether Riley is a cheater or not now. But now it's like, oh, they're assumed to be ones. They're not even going to be able to play games.
Fucking crash. My game just crashed. Nice. Guys, what is wrong with Battlefield 6?
He tried to boot it up again and was kicked for the second time.
Close my fucking game.
Wait, so is Riley getting kicked, or is Riley's game just crashing?
As he desperately attempts to log into the account that has been soft banned. He made it into a match, and yet again, the account was flagged and the game crashed.
Dude, the door... My game...
He tries again, and for the fourth time in a row, his account was blocked from playing Battlefield 6. This happened repeatedly, to the point where he had to log out and switch to an alternate account. On that account, he was able to play normally. The cheater was banned by Javelin Anti-Cheat, just not in a way that creates headlines. It's like someone driving a Porsche and then trying to tell someone how the engine works with no clue about engines.
Except this is just the game crashing. If Riley were banned, they wouldn't even be able to log into the game, period. Crashes and low performance were very common during the Battlefield 6 beta, and eventually people realized you could switch to the Steam launcher instead to get less issues.
Oh, I only use Steam, so I never got that.
Changed. Oftentimes, games will be available on multiple launchers, and some give better performance than others. You'd think Call of Shame would be somewhat aware of this, given he's a Call of Duty player, and you can play Warzone on both Battle...
But yeah, isn't this like... This has been a huge issue for like a fucking decade now. Which is why I'm so unique and cool, because I can talk about it. Fucking Origin, if anybody even remembers that, was dog shit, and always has been dog shit. It didn't get better when it got rebranded as EA Play. Or it's always been a horrible launcher that leads to crashing and tons of issues. You can hardly mod your shit. I think there are ways to get around it, but even if you're playing like a single player game, it's hard to mod your games because it'll get like, it verifies, I think, on startup or on game start for a lot of games, and you can like turn it off, but it's fucking difficult. So instead, you can I think turn it into offline mode and it won't do that. But if you're trying to play like an online game, you can use Steam instead, which will just throw generally less false positives and less errors. And also just like being able to run while other shit is happening. It's so, I don't know, it's so dishonest, uninformed. It has so many issues. Jesus.
Battle.net and Steam, but I guess he's just completely unaware of this sort of thing existing. So he says Riley logged into a different account with no other issues, but this is just the same account. Shandy provided me some footage of him testing this with Titanfall, and you can see the player name and friends lists are both different.
Yeah, I had this happen with a
We get
fucking
another brutal voice mod shift, and he
single player
Riley's
game. I had this happen with fucking Dragon Age and fucking Mass Effect. I didn't have this happen with a multiplayer game because I would never use EA Play for a fucking multiplayer game.
Valorant logins text file.
So yeah, it does appear that TTV account seems to have been soft banned for sure.
That TTV account?
Which brings me to another issue.
Wait, what?
While attempting to farm impressions,
You don't use a
faking
TTV.
folder.
You don't use a TTV account for any fucking thing. What? Unless is it like Riley CS TTV? It's not. It's not even. Okay, cool.
I'm testing this with Titanfall text file.
So yeah, it does appear that that TTV account seems to have been soft banned for sure. Which brings me to another issue. While attempting to farm impressions by faking a desktop folder titled "Cheats Do Not Show," he made a major mistake. A visible text file on his PC labeled
VTube
Valorant
Studio
Logins immediately stood out, and it strongly suggests the presence of stolen credentials.
Wait, what? Stolen? No, what the fuck? Where did you get stolen credentials from? What?
It's highly likely these accounts were taken from a leaked database of usernames and passwords circulating on the dark web.
This is a complete
That is complete conjecture.
nothing burger. People often have Smurfs or alt accounts they use to play with friends that are lower ranked than them in games like this. And with the 50 million new launchers and profiles, you often have to save these so you don't lose or forget them. He also brings up the config files, suggesting there are macros or other types of cheats in here.
The other text files are what I believe are a bunch of macros for Valorant and Battlefield. It's like someone driving a Porsche and then trying to tell someone how the engine works with no clue about engines.
But Riley plays stretch resolutions in games to get better performance. Some might not know what this is, but it's playing the game with a lower resolution, often stretching the game slightly to increase your FPS. This is a long tradition throughout PC games, especially in Counter-Strike, and is allowed in competitive matches. Some players even choose not to stretch and play with the black bars on each side of their screen, with the idea being along the lines of horse blinders, removing the sides of your vision to make what you're focusing on smaller. To do this, you have to open the config file for your game and edit the resolution, which is why Riley has these config files up. And
This is like a common thing. You will see like CSGO pro players who either know about this or are doing it. And I think you could probably go to fucking CSGO on Twitch right now and find people fucking doing it. That's so crazy that he's trying to put that as like a crazy fucking thing that nobody's ever done before.
For easy access. She doesn't want to have to type %appdata% to navigate to the file every single time. This just isn't evidence of cheating. But then he brings up Pingu, another member of the AIM community who defended Riley. He says the video says nothing, which I believe to be untrue. I'll link the video below so you can see and go watch it for yourself, because Pingu's explanation is substantive and correct.
When Riley was caught rage hacking, another member of the AIM community suddenly appeared and desperately tried to defend him. I suspected it was Riley himself, since the voice sounded nearly identical. However, I've since been assured it was someone else who just happens to sound like him. Here's the clip.
Wow, I flicked straight at that guy through the wall.
Riley CS is not cheating. Obviously, there were a lot of people who are interacting with the discourse in bad faith, but I do think there's a subset of people who are just genuinely unsure. So, as somebody who's been around the AIM community for a couple of years now...
And you get the picture. He's flat out defending Riley. But the real question is why? Why would someone go out of their way to make a throwaway video that explains absolutely nothing? Well, it turns out the person so eager to defend him is none other than Riley's own editor. The same person responsible for editing all of his videos. But get this, Riley's editor isn't just an editor, he's also a cheat developer. That's right, the very person defending him is the one supplying him with cheats.
Pingu being Riley's editor or actually developing cheats in the past is meaningless. What matters is the substance of the arguments, which sadly aren't responded to here. It's just guilt by association and selective credentials. He's quick to invoke Enclave Emily as a reliable source, but when Pingu claims to have better credentials...
Well, the point is not to argue. He has no interest in arguing. He's just trying to prove that Riley is a cheater using, like, terrible methods. There's, like, no actual want for Call of Shame to argue in any of this. Crap.
Only used as further fuel to the fire. He talks about the list of people with credentials defending Riley, just writing it off because other cheaters are on the list, and given this guy's lack of analysis, I don't trust for a second that those claims are accurate.
Take a good long look. They are desperate, but they have lied about a few of them, including the Battlefield developer who hasn't even mentioned the rage hacker Riley CS at all.
The rage hacker?
To really take a good long look at
Wait, they cheated in Rage too? No way, dude. Oh, that's so sad. They cheated in Rage.
Who are turning a blind eye to the evidence, and many of them have been permanently banned in other games by other anti-cheats. The list also consists of other known cheaters in the scene. But there are darker forces at play. The Riley defenders are losing, and they know it.
The Riley
Now they're trying to
defenders.
twist the narrative, painting everyone who calls out Riley's cheating as somehow curiously transphobic.
This guy has been deliberately transphobic since he initially covered the controversy, as well as basically his entire audience. The nerve to try to back up and say, wow, isn't it so interesting that we're all being called transphobic for no reason, is actually crazy. It's very easy to concede a large part of the controversy has been transphobia. It colors almost all of the negative commentary suggesting Riley is cheating, but he's too much of a coward to just stand on business and own it.
True.
We're almost done. We're on to the 5th video. He again brings up Shimmy and talks about the controversy, saying that Shimmy was banned for using aim hacks and Kovacs, which is just flatly not true.
But for now, I want to go back to Shimmy. Team EXE, or XE, whatever you want to call them, I don't really care. They had to make a
JXE,
public
yo, let's
statement
go,
and
JXE
admit
reference.
he was using soft aim. And because the situation was so public, they really had no other option. Here's some gameplay where Shimmy was caught using soft aim. As I mentioned earlier, soft aim works when a cheater initially misses the target. Then the automated aim correction gradually pulls the crosshair toward the enemy. It can fool the human eye, but not AI. And this is when my
But
cheating
not
analysis comes
AI.
in.
As if AI isn't like one of the highest false positive developments ever made.
Instantly. He's detected for soft aim. So, this is what my software detected. A micro adjustment to the center of the player's bounding box. This is simply not natural, especially since it had already flagged similar pattern matches before this. Players miss targets all the time. The issue isn't the flick, it's the micro adjustments that follow. This is Shimmy's own gameplay recorded on Aim Trainer. Looks pretty solid, right? Well, now we know he was actually using an aimbot. So anyone
Do
claiming
we?
that great aim from Aim Trainer
Wait.
alone proves legitimacy.
I thought you were saying that the aimbot tracks for humans. Why is it tracking for dots now?
Can throw that argument out the window. I've just proven it false.
Shimmy was banned for
There's
using an
no
aim key in
proof.
games like Battlefield and COD, and was cheating in Kovacs by slowing down the time in the game engine, not by using an aim hack. This is widely known information. Viscos made a video going over the situation, and she was the one that exposed him for
Ugh.
cheating in this way. Call of Shame claims to have done extensive research on Shimmy, but seemingly not enough to get the basic factual information right. And Call of Shame clearly doesn't know what Kovacs is, typing Aim Trainer into the AI, which resulted in a mistake that makes it a little bit too obvious.
This is Shimmy's own gameplay recorded on Aim Trainer. Looks pretty solid, right? Well, now we know he was actually using an aimbot. So anyone claiming that great aim from Aim Trainer alone proves legitimacy can throw that argument out the window. I've just proven it false.
It's so crazy that it's like almost accusing anybody who ever actually like tries to practice aiming in a video game of being like a malicious cheater, and that's not real. Like, no, there's no way anybody could want to improve at a video game. There's no way anybody would want to improve at a video game that they can potentially make money from or play at a competitive level against people of similar or increased skill than them. So crazy.
Same thing happens in the next segment when he pivots from, now I know why he did it, and then not answering that and instead saying not to let a cheater dictate the story.
When Carl Jost put out a video
Carl
attempting
Jost?
to defend Riley CS, I was honestly confused because he has some actually pretty amazing videos, and then I quickly realized why he did it. If you're going to make an impartial video, you should never let a blatant cheater dictate how you tell your story.
Wait, no, it's extremely important to interview the fucking sides in this. What? What are you talking about?
Maybe do a redraft, my friend.
Also, I thought we were like largely not pro Carl at the moment, just because of like his huge like Billy Mitchell fuck up with Apollo Legend. Was that not like a massive? I don't know. This guy doesn't even have. Maybe that's why he likes him, is because the AI isn't updated yet on the Carl Lobs situation.
And what was the dictation on the story? Providing the uncompressed clip of them shooting through the smoke? and showing that you could even see the player shot in the clip.
When I view this clip on Twitter, I can't see an enemy here, but the Twitter version is terrible quality, entirely compressed. Luckily, Riley still has the original video in high quality and sent it to me. And when I view the original, the enemy is clearly visible. And when you see the enemy, you realize the flick wasn't even accurate, and it took multiple shots before Riley adjusted. So when viewing the actual footage, you see that not only can you see the enemy clearly, but the snap was completely off target.
And then we get the same shtick about his very real anti-cheat and white paper.
An entire PhD-level white paper on computer vision-based cheats and the urgent need for anti-cheats to step up against AI-driven exploits. In it, I go in depth on soft aim technology and the broader dangers that modern AI poses to competitive online games. Over the past 6 months, I've been investigating, researching, and reverse engineering external cheat devices to determine the most effective ways to combat them in first-person shooters. The result is a groundbreaking anti-cheat system.
It is actually wild how repetitive his content is. I do wonder how many of his 180,000 subscribers are actually real humans. Remember that tool we hid for later? Well, we circle back around to Shimmy, saying how well his aimbot hides itself. Again, Shimmy was kicked from EXE a month after joining, and it didn't take long for people to realize he was using an aim key.
The gameplay is identical. The same snap behavior is there, but let's be clear, the snap itself is not the cheat. The soft aimbot is the mechanical auto-correction that takes over as the crosshair nears the target. The so-called pro players and Riley defenders from that strange little list
Riley
just
defenders
don't recognize what soft aim really looks like, so they gaslight the clips by overanalyzing and debunking the snaps.
He then shows Riley's gameplay side by side with Shimmy's gameplay, saying they are the exact same thing, and that Guardian True Sight is showing both of them cheating. Except the footage he includes for this first part is the footage of the clip he himself said was not cheated, but was just inserted to give plausible deniability.
And no, that's
because he doesn't have consistency, because it's not a he, it's an it, and it's an AI. And it's like the biggest question of this channel is whether or not it's even operated by a human and not being operated by like an intense algorithm. I imagine it's a mix. I imagine that there's probably somebody who's trying to make basically like an entirely AI ran channel, and they are like attempting and failing to make a system that can just farm, like repetitively upload on something that seems like something an AI could not talk about. And in large part, the AI can't really talk about it, and that's why it needs like constant fucking like reassurance or human input just over and over and over again. That's probably like very frustrating, especially when people are starting to point out all of its flaws because they built a bad AI.
Cheating. Cheaters often include clips like this in their montages so that absolute morons can try to break it down and say, see, he's not cheating.
And then of course, we're just running down our list of collected evidence that's all just fake.
The gameplay is a dead match. It's exactly the same. This is a closed case. There's nothing more to be said. I brought facts to the table, and what did they bring? Permanently banned.
He did not bring
and
any
washed
facts
content
to the
creators.
table.
When presenting evidence of cheating, I need it to be 100% accurate. Look, the evidence out there to show Riley cheating is excellent. The micro adjustments and aim corrections, just ignored. The previous bans on platforms for cheating in multiplayer games, ignored. Valorant logins and suspicious macro config files, ignored. Crosshair overlays, you guessed it, ignored. A member of Team EXE, the little aiming club surrounded in controversy that will use propaganda to gaslight members caught cheating, ignored. On the second week of the beta, he failed to play on his original account due to a potential soft ban, yet was able to load another account, already leveled up, and play perfectly fine, ignored. Banned from multiple Battlefield forums because they know he's cheating, ignored. The only people defending this guy are radical groups and mouse and keyboard players, as they somehow believe it's an attack on their gameplay. Cheat developers insist this person is cheating.
I think the Riley thing has been like thoroughly blown out of proportion to the point where, like I said, it doesn't even matter if Riley is cheating or not. So many people are convinced that they are. So they must be cheating. They absolutely have to be cheating. Whenever, not really. They might be, they might not be. And I think it's, there's so much misinformation that it's going to be impossible to tell or judge without, like, an official from EA providing every single detail on every part of it.
And their so-called defense? They copied his tweet and gaslighted it, and simply ignored it. They even pretended to be Battlefield 6 developers to virtue signal for the Catgirl dude. I ran it through my AI anti-cheat software and it found him guilty.
Okay, bud.
In their defense, he didn't cheat because he said so. And everyone saying he is cheating are transphobic, hating Nazis with a KD of 0.
Well, let's not pretend that transphobia doesn't play a part in it. There are tons of people who are saying that Riley is cheating just because
and it's
Riley's trans, and that's it.
Riley CS guilty. Game over.
Like, if you went to, like, any of these fucking tweets that Call of Shame made, or, like, just any of the Riley cheating... Excuse me, sorry. It's pretty obvious that people are just, like, don't care, they're trans, they cheated. And that's it. That's the end of the story. When there is, like, just no analysis of cheating or not. Being trans doesn't make you a cheater. Even fucking Call of Shame said it and is like pretending now that it's not a thing. It's like, it is kind of crazy that Call of Shame is like, Riley must be cheating in video games because Riley is cheating in life. And it's like, dude, that's fucked up, kind of. That's actually kind of fucked up. Oh my god, just like no analysis. And then pretending that it's like, people just don't like Riley because they're trans, and it's like, no, that's not real. Every reason to hate Riley is completely legitimate. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
We're finally to the last video. I've listened to tens of hours of the same rock track over and over again, and I'm starting to believe the dead internet theory is closer than we think.
Calling me famous. No way! I just lost a nutty clip to Bloom.
We start off by showing this interesting screenshot of a Twitch ban appeal message.
Dude, the dead internet theory reminds me of like an actually crazy video from Destiny. Oh my god, let me try to find it. Destiny, dead internet theory. Destiny's schizo arc, is this it?
It feels like are all of his replies to Jeffrey? They might all be, all of his replies might be to Jeffrey. Oh, this A. O'Connell guy or whatever? Holy banger, Jeff. Thank you, Albert. By far and away.
I am an intelligence educator. I prepare intelligence personnel for clandestine service. The focus of my career has been centered on the intelligence component of national security.
This is a 3.5-hour video, okay? With a couple of sometimes strange audio glitches. I try to Google around getting information about this guy, and we're looking for like 20 minutes in chat, okay? I can't find anything like, apparently he has really strong credentials, okay? He's got a very unique name, he's got very strong credentials, but I can't actually find good information about like who it is, okay? Who is this person? Go to the channel and check the comments. I did. All these comments are bots. 100%. They all type like it. There's a way that they type. However, this is happening last night. This is happening last night. This is happening off stream in my chat room. And as we're talking about this, out of nowhere, an account shows up. So this account shows up in chat. The name is net_help_message_2221. And he says, are people saying this Cholokian guy isn't real? I found a court document that looks like from a case involving the guy. Dude looks
That looks like a
unhinged.
fucking virus link.
And then he tags Cyber Vegan, who's helping me look at things, and then he tags me with the court document. Okay? Account was created minutes before typing this message in chat. No smurfs, no other hits on this IP address, no other messages in chat ever. This is at like, I think like 3 a.m. CST, Central Standard Time. So I geolocate the IP address for this account. The account is from Wisconsin, or the IP address is from Wisconsin. And I look at what it used to authenticate on my website, and it registered with the email 4destiny13337@gmail.com.
Okay. Yeah, this is freaky, dude.
And then, what's even weirder is you open this court case. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. I only read like the first page. But, so, I don't know if this proves, I don't even know what this proves, okay? So, United States District Court for the District of Massachusetts. So we have a federal court case, and it's the guy, the Elon Egon Cholokian, versus the FBI, I think the state of Massachusetts. It's all the wrong font for court documents. Yeah, I noticed that the state was misspelled up here. Like, is this even a real court case? How would they get it on the official site? I don't know, because this is govinfo.gov, right? I want to know if this guy is real. This guy might be real. I just want to know if this guy's real. Okay? I just want to know if this guy's real. That's all I want to know.
Hello, my name is Egon Cholo.
Or is there a guy with this name and this is like a bot that stole his identity? That's what I just want to know. That's what I'm gonna check. Okay.
Okay, so I can't watch this anymore. This actually freaks me out because the guy is playing spooky music and I can't take it. But like, yeah, this is actually fucked up. I actually do think we live in like a dead internet theory to a degree. There's just an enormous amount of people who want to make money off of like having authority, or like that's just like an easy way for them that they think that they'll be able to make money. And then they'll make like these crazy historied accounts. And it's just like complete dead internet theory. And that's just what that reminded me of, because I was like freaked out because I saw this live. And this is just like, this isn't even the whole thing. This is clipped. And it makes Destiny look crazy. But this entire guy is completely fake. And there are people like referencing him for like real life shit. It's fucking spooky. I saw this guy in my nightmares, this Cholokian guy.
They said he appealed, and that Twitch reviewed his gameplay.
That music is relieving to hear after what I just listened
to. His appeal was
to.
denied, both times. And in both cases, Riley had to serve the entire length of his ban for cheating in multiplayer games.
But I don't trust this for a second. I can't find that Riley has posted this anywhere on any social media, and she is the only one who could have access to this message. But the alignment of the text is off, as well as the account being listed as RileyC_ and not RileyCS_. And of course, this screenshot instantly got shipped around to all the other channels covering this, and it's probably not even a real screenshot. We do love a little bit of deception. He goes back to the list of supposed dastardly cheaters, and brings up XQC as someone who doesn't have credentials.
XQC is once again another terrible source. Just because he's a big streamer doesn't automatically make him credible. In fact, the very idea that a large following equals credibility only reinforces my earlier point.
Seemingly not aware that XQC was a former pro Overwatch player, and definitely has some credentials for spotting cheats.
This is the same guy who publicly defended Nadia, going so far as to break down my video live on his channel and dismiss it as a witch hunt simply because she's a woman. He insisted there was no evidence of her cheating, yet she was permanently banned later that same year.
Alright, I'm gonna be willing to say it, chat. I'm gonna be willing to say it. All the shit we're talking about, all this garbage, it's all actual dog shit. All the chat, I don't care saying that, chat. All the cheating stuff was unfounded. All this is garbage. It's all stupidity. I'm sorry. I wish I could Guys, there's so many things to criticize her for. Not this.
Bro, I just got banned.
Also bringing up Nadia, claiming she was permanently banned from Call of Duty, which is just not true. I had heard this claim floated around a lot of his videos. Nadia is streaming Call of Duty to this day. She had been banned from Call of Duty events after being an IRL streamer and starting an OnlyFans, but was not permanently banned from Call of Duty. Call of Duty can ban you for crazy things. False Call of Duty bans happen frequently and usually get resolved rather quickly.
Guys, this man by the name of Ziebler finally went ahead and exposed exactly how people were getting falsely permanent banned in Call of Duty. This is his tweet. He says, "The following is a quote and paste from Visor, the founder of the exploit, detailing the exploit he found and its abuse. These are not my words. Please contact him, blah, blah, blah." Essentially, he gets into this whole thing about how a lot of anti-cheats work on the same way, where it's kind of like code-based in a way. They call it signatures, but essentially if there's certain code that is found embedded in your PC or into your account, it is a surefire way that Activision and Ricochet can go ahead and actually identify your account and issue you a permanent ban.
Call of Shame uses Nadia to attack other creators constantly to completely discredit any credentials they otherwise have.
This is the same guy who publicly defended Nadia, going so far as to break down my video live on his channel.
He also brings up Marksman, another pretty cool creator, suggesting the only reason he defended Riley is because of the trans flag he had as his Call of Duty emblem.
Then you've got names like Marksman, hyped up as a search and destroy demon. A demon? We all know why he defended Riley, so let's not pretend.
This is actually quite common. You can scroll through the comments of my last video and see just how many people auto-assumed I was trans simply for taking the side. You can have left politics and defend someone for reasons completely outside of that. He also claims to have more previous jobs, and I guess he created his own gaming platform. Man, Scump really is on the ups nowadays, huh?
I worked on the MSN Gaming Zone, where I monitored cheating across a variety of titles. I even went as far as building my own gaming platform, yes, my own platform, directly competing with GameSpy and others at the time. Later, I collaborated with Microsoft to track down cheaters in Age of Empires, which, by the way, I still play to this day.
Damn, he also worked with Microsoft? Which Fortune 500 company hasn't this guy worked for?
I know this field, I've lived it. When it comes to cheating, I am a credible authority. I've spent decades on the front lines of cybersecurity and anti-cheat technology.
Decades? You worked decades in this field?
I was there during the IRC wars, when groups clashed for dominance.
And you were part of the IRC wars in the 90s?
Whoa.
My man is the productivity GOAT, my lord!
I watched the birth of botnets, the rise of reverse connections, and the inevitable collapses that followed. I lived it. They didn't.
Guys, I think the US is under attack. Rip Australia, though. I guess no one wants to hack them. But this is just generated, dude. There's a random explosion and curved lines in the ending frames. It's so pathetic.
Yes, I think that's like an amateurish fucking like, I don't even know the right word. It's like a nuclear bomb map made from like fucking, I don't know. Or maybe it's like an incoming connections map. It's really fucking hard to tell what's even happening here.
This is just not real. 60% of this video was just recycled content from the last one.
I've even written my own anti-cheat. And no, I didn't need kernel-level access. I used AI-driven bots to infiltrate cheat sites, analyze loaders, extract cheat signatures, and break them down into raw data.
Get cheat signatures and break them down into
cheat
raw
signatures?
data. This is like Disney Plus science fiction.
Cheat signature.
In my expert opinion, this person was cheating. And you can take that to the bank. I'm Call of Shame. God bless every one of you on the other side of the screen.
And we're finally done. We've covered all the videos he has on Riley. So I'll quickly wrap up over my mediocre Splitgate gameplay. I think it's pretty clear Call of Shame is just a certified turbo liar. It is incredible how often and easily he will lie to try to farm credentials and frame innocent players as cheaters. Reactions to cheating are very visceral. Players really do not like cheaters. Call of Shame has successfully deceived a lot of well-meaning people by lying to them to farm YouTube ad money. Despite all the suspected uses of AI, I do still think there's a human behind this. A very sad human, but a human nonetheless. He'll react to people in his comments frequently, sometimes giving off bot-like replies, but other times, predicting the rapture?
I pray that Jesus comes back really, really soon to lay judgment upon all these wicked people. I'm included, then so be it.
September 23rd, 2025. YouTube it. It's close, my friend.
Damn, boys, September 23rd. Guess we have 23 more days until we all fucking die. Mixed with all the really weird segments he includes that involve violence or shame, I think it's clear whoever this individual is odd.
Can you imagine telling your girlfriend you're part of the aiming community? What do you think she's going to do? Call the cops? Of course she will, and rightly so. Take this guy, for example. It's rumored that he told his friend he was part of the aiming community and that he uses a floating crosshair
I'm
on
part
his
of
screen.
the aiming community. We basically use crosshairs on our screen.
His friend reacted the way most people would, and rightly so. Don't you dare sit there with your ass hair on your head. Are you part
So
of the...
cringe. This is so fucking cringe. Sorry, I was watching that soon. It's just a clip compilation of everything cringe that he's done. It's so insane, dude. So I think that's the end of it, or we can skip past this part. Oh, is he playing the song? Yo, honestly, so based. Ending this off with a highlights clip of Splitgate. So true. So cool. I wish that there was somebody who would talk about like the problems in gaming again, and it wasn't Actman. Nah, Actman's fine. A bit, at least. So, I'm gonna go for a little longer. So, I believe Call of Shame actually uploaded a... I'm gonna exit out of that. 8 mirrors. He uploaded a response to that video. So this is the same disclaimer, hour, despite saying that they're not a team anymore.
Roger that, and thank you. These cheaters have been punished.
Oh my god, does he did he used to open every video like that?
Now, as many know, I have been outspoken about Riley CS. In my opinion, I think he's cheating. I believe we have excellent evidence to make that claim, and I will not change my mind. So guess what happens next? They decided to do what they do best, collectively strike at the same time, but it failed. Miserably. Why? Because everything I say or do is real, and they hate it.
No. What? They don't hate that it exists. They hate that you have no evidence for it being real.
They hate successful, strong, hardworking, real men and women. Now,
Dude, what a fucking, like... How cringe, dude. They hate real people. They hate real men and women.
don't normally address these trolls, but today I think I will. This is a one-time event, so enjoy it, because it won't be repeated.
The first thing that really stood out to me was claiming he was a former pro Call of Duty player competing in game battles back in 2011, even showing suspicious screenshots of tournament dates, as well as trophies lined up for all the events he supposedly won. Now I checked these dates against real COD events that happened in 2011, and none of them line up at all. These events were in February and October, not in July. Like, look at these trophies. These probably aren't even real. This is what the real 2011 Call of Duty XP trophy looked like, and the differences are quite stark.
That's the prize trophy. Those are called icons, and yes, they're real. You just exposed yourself as someone who never played game battles.
Never played game battles? What is a game battle?
Because anyone who was around before the Fruit Loop generation played game battles, MLG, or console gaming.
What? Dude, the PS5 is like one of the most popular selling like objects right now. The Switch, what the fuck is he talking about?
The trophies are real too. They represent seasonal champions, not LAN events. This was my profile page, and they were clearly visible. What on earth are you blabbering on about?
Oh, right, they're trophies. I guess I did kind of not look that up quite right. What would it be? Call of Duty World at War trophies. I'm pretty sure if you look up arena, that's not going to be in the description of any of them, because that's just not like a term that Call of Duty uses. Yeah, it's not there. If you look up like PSN profiles, there is nothing that says arena here. That's just wrong. He needs to show off. Oh, by Tectone. He needs to show off what website he's using, or else this is all a lie.
About.
Ranked second in the Xbox 360 Call of Duty World at War Arena? This is not real. This is not an event that existed or a leaderboard anywhere that I can find.
Not real? Yes, it's very real. I have many of them. Ranked second, third, fourth, and more. You see, when I was playing the Xbox 360, people like you were still defecating in your diaper, sitting in pools of your own urine, or still swimming looking for that egg. The fact you never experience World at War at its peak, it's so satisfying. It really is.
It's completely fictitious. After he shows this likely AI-generated image, an inbox of some sorts, he claims to have been on the best team in the world, while also showing the emblem of the 2014 Olympic MLG crossover event.
What you're looking at is the dashboard of messages during game battles where disputes would be filed for matches. I don't know why anyone would assume it was AI generated. Everyone has a message dashboard for game battles. I don't even understand what the claim is here. As for being on the best team in the world, yes, I was.
Game battles.
Nobody could.
What is Game Battle? Game Battles is a long-running online platform for video game tournaments and match finding. Oh, is that the website he's using? Wait, this is like a way back machine. This is... Game Battles got shut down ages ago. What the fuck? What? Battles.com. Activision Blizzard has sunset the Game Battles platform. Okay.
Touch us. We won everything during those seasons. And for the MLG award, you
Wait, but what team were you a part of?
have to be joking. You only had to play in an official MLG season ladder. Like what?
Oh, so you didn't win, you only played?
To anybody familiar
2014 MLG ladder achievement? Image? Trophy. That's not what it looks like. Major League Gaming events 2014. Winter Invitational playoffs. Wait, so 2010 LG PCL 1? Wait, it's not the right colors. MLG was black and blue back then. Not red and blue. Didn't change that until later, until 2014. And that's their current color. Yeah, that's AI generated. 2014 MLG. What is CMRS? LG Anaheim 2014, that's not relevant. 2010, maybe online nationals? He has a 20 years. Okay.
You had to play in an official MLG season ladder. Like what?
To anybody familiar with COD Pro Play at the time, they know that the best team in the world can only mean Optic Gaming, and Optic Gaming happened to have won the 2014 Olympics event, making Call of...
Wait, where's the 14 Olympic duty? Call of Duty Championship 2014. So that's not the symbol either. Who won? On the wiki it says Complexity won, but Optic got 3rd place.
of Shame one of 4 possible people: Nadeshot, Proofy, Scump, or Clayster. All of these players are still active and obviously not Call of Shame. This is such a bold-faced lie that it's hard to believe somebody would actually put it in a video unless they had zero idea of what the pro scene looked like at the time.
This is the worst research I have ever seen done by anyone. You are an embarrassment. Let's continue, and it's going to get even better. So this is your ace card? It's a Game Battles 2014 Olympics themed badge.
No, it's not Game Battles, it's MLG. What? This is just complete lies.
You earned it by taking part on Game Battles during the event window. It's not from the X Games LAN that Optic won. You earned this by simply competing in the Olympus event, nothing more. The fact you didn't even understand...
So the comment section just seems full of like people who seem to believe them with like no evidence. And maybe that's like a screenshot of Game Battles, but Game Battles is down. Like a Game Battles like screenshot of the achievement page, but so this person, Fast TV, not open image, fuck off. Open link. This person, Chud went through, they're playing like Expedition 33. All about gaming. And there's no chatting, there's no description. Just random footage. There's nothing else. So if they're a competitive player, you would have expect other stuff. This person is just like a glazer. If video games will tell me anything, is that when you find enemies, you're going in the right direction. I have debunked the lies. There is no debunction here. Fruit Loop, Fruit Loop, Fruit Loop, Fruit Loop. Game Battles, those were today's. Can't wait to see Asmon Gold. Yep. Bro, hit them with the orchestral finish. It's suspicious that people are attacking anti-cheat developers. I have 2 master's level degrees, and what he probably never got a... You don't have to do academic papers for associates or bachelors, and at least in my field, I didn't have to do one for computer science, and I have a bachelor's. I thought Call of Shame was saying he was on Team Optic. So it could be JCap? I'm a commercial pilot, and before that I did corporate IT. Okay, cool. So it could be JCap, I guess? We need to keep Boren channel for his response. JCap? So that was a year ago. When did Call of Shame start? Three years ago.
It's how she wiped an entire squad by herself.
Okay. So I think he's just lying.
This shows you are not only incompetent, but sloppy. All you had to do was ask me. But you didn't. You would rather make a video embarrassing yourself. And what even is this screenshot?
Also, like, you could say he could just ask you, but you have been so, like, aggressive and seem almost malicious. Almost. So it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
The Old Spice playoffs? Pro circuit tournaments? Do you even know what you're looking at? These are not Game Battle's seasonal ladders. It's another example of—
But your thing doesn't show your thing shows MLG achievements.
Sloppy research. These are what the ladders looked like. Winter and fall, for example. I found this online as an example. Do you know why? Because I knew exactly what to look for. Because we all compete.
Because you won't tell us what to look for. Game Battles, Call of Duty ladder images. So it does look like it's game. Okay, it does look like it's Game Battles. Wait, was Game Battles used to be MLG? So you can't even check Game Battles anymore. Wait, is that why he's doing this? Is that why he's uploading his stuff about Game Battles? Is it because it's not checkable? Yeah, maybe that's why.
In these, while you didn't.
It's such a generic sounding name that you like wouldn't even expect to be able to like look it up. I don't even think you would register it because it's such a generic name.
No such thing as an Xbox 360 arena for World at War. Everything back then was labeled arena. Here's Nameless, competing in all the arenas. Yes, arenas.
This is not real. This is not an event that existed or a leaderboard anywhere that I can find. It's completely
Nothing, yeah. Oh, so maybe Game Battles calls them arenas?
fictitious.
So he's saying that he has like a very prestigious trophy from a website that doesn't exist anymore, that nobody can check, and that you can't have access to, and you can't have access to the screenshot or even like the account that would have it or provided any other information.
Anyway, we haven't even got into the video yet, and already the level of research is awful. So far, all I have seen is probably this, and probably that, because he hasn't got a clue.
Yeah, because you don't have any information because you're AI.
He also claims to have been a threat analyst at a high-end security company called Symantec, a high-end cybersecurity firm that works with companies like Norton. And he also claims to be in his PhD research for AI anti-cheat, constantly bringing up his white paper that he supposedly submitted for peer review. Not only was he a COD pro from 2011 to 2014, and he was a member of Optic Gaming.
This is called misinformation. I have never once made that claim about Optic Gaming. This is exactly—
Well, no, but you said that you were part of like the best team, right? Or like the achievements you have would lead you to only be a part of the best team. And so based on that premise of you being like highly skilled in the early 2010s in Call of Duty and playing competitively, you would have to be on one of those teams. Especially for those like specific symbols that you showed. Yeah.
Exactly what happens with Generation Fruit Loop research. They start with bad information, and then everything that follows is built on that faulty premise.
Why are they called Generation Fruit Loop? Fruit Loops were in like the 80s, weren't they?
Every claim they make is rooted in a baseless original claim.
And he worked as a threat analyst.
Fruit Loops were made in 1963. How is Gen Z Generation Fruit Loop?
For Symantec, and he's just now in his PhD research for AI. It is impossible for all of this to be true.
I've said for years that I worked as a threat analyst. That's not new. I've backed up my claims many times, showing exactly what I've done. I've authored a white paper on computer vision cheats, and I will be publishing it soon officially. And yes, I am working towards a PhD. I even developed a fully working computer vision model called Guardian TrueSight.
So Fruit Loop is a slang term for a crazy person? I mean, I know that. What? I'm getting hung up on something stupid.
Not to mention countless other programs. But of course, it can't be true, because the idiot doesn't understand. That's what Generation Fruit Loops always do.
If this worked for you, you would not be making like an AI generated channel. You would be making millions of dollars and being paid by Activision.
They can't understand something, then it must be BS. That's their take on everything. And they never bring evidence, because when they finally do, this happens.
So what about that PhD paper? He will constantly promote his website and his AI anti-cheat, Guardian True Site, but when you actually visit the website, it's only one page, with the 4 buttons at the top only bringing you to different parts of that one page.
This is called anchor navigation, and it's an established design used by countless websites.
What? That's not the point of what he's saying at all. He's saying it's full of dead links and it brings you nowhere.
It's simply my design of choice. I like it. I didn't
What a freak idiot retard.
realize I needed to run this by other people just to build my own site. Honestly, it just comes across as jealousy from a very bitter person. But he thinks he's debunking something, so let's roll with it.
My guess is he fed a lot of this to the AI to help him spit out this paper. And while unreliable, I ran large sections of this text through AI text detectors online, and basically all of them said that large portions of
Wait, is this edited? Goran said 100%, didn't it?
the text are 100% AI generated.
Oh, okay.
So this guy thinks AI wrote my white paper, created all my images, and guessed at the algorithms I use in my script, right? That's what he's claiming, that my paper is AI generated. Well, I just turned to scripture, because the Lord has used it to stop evil.
Holy fuck. Also, look at this. Can I make this clearer? I'm not sure how clear this is. Wait, let me move it to the big screen and I'll be able to see. First off, it's going by chapters. That's not how the scripture works. Okay. Scripture's like John 1:10 or John 1:17 and Romans 2:11 or some shit like that. It is not chapters 13 to 14, skid diseases and mildew. That's just not how the Bible works. It's not how the Bible happens. Chud Logic actually did a test with this where he ran it through. He asked like ChatGPT to give him like a simplification of the Bible, and it spat out almost this exactly.
And it was written over 2,000 years ago. I randomly chose the book of
Huh. Funny thing about that, the Bible was actually not written 2,000 years ago. Funny story. It has multiple editions, like editions, where things can get like retranslated or redone, because there's been multiple like religious schisms and papal editions and Protestantism, and I think we're mostly running off of the King James Bible now, at least in the English-speaking world, which I think is a 1600s version, which does not align with the Catholic Bible, which I think has a slightly newer version due to the Reformation. Yeah. So that's a lie.
Leviticus to see if that was AI generated. And all it took was a single book of the Bible to shut this clown down.
85% AI content. Yeah, because it's rewritten. And it's not the book of Leviticus.
Amen. Moving on.
So what about this AI anti-cheat he's supposedly making? What is it? What does it do? Well, according to him, it's a client-side server-integrated anti-cheat that you can download to spot and protect yourself from cheaters.
What? According to this guy, you can download my anti-cheat to protect yourself from cheaters. On what?
No, he said you can't download your anti-cheat.
You can download. Well, so what about this AI anti-cheat he's supposedly making? What is it? What does it do? Well, according to him, it's a client-side server-integrated anti-cheat that you can download to spot and protect yourself from cheaters.
What? According to this guy, you can download my anti-cheat to protect yourself from cheaters. On what planet does an anti-cheat work like that?
You've said so.
How confused can you be? It has nothing to do with Guardian TrueSight and doesn't have any AI visuals. You are talking about a completely...
That looks fake as fuck. That looks like a fake fucking program.
different program. This is a user mode anti-cheat and not computer vision. But no.
What does that say? Can't even read. Keystone? Key store not found. Please provide your key in the format locker cheat as delivered. Locker cheat. I can't. It's so low resolution. I can't read it.
Don't download it to protect yourself. The purpose of that project was for members to privately test it behind closed doors against known cheats to see how it reacted in a real-world environment. It was an application that launched on boot and scanned inside applications as they executed. You can see it working here as it's detecting the known cheats that were active back in 2022. If the scan data matched one of my detected strings,
Whoa, what fucking voice filter did you do now? That sounds awful.
it flagged the cheat and shut it down. It has absolutely nothing to do with protecting yourself from cheaters. That's just a flat-out lie. And since you brought it up, the anti-cheat has advanced significantly since 2022. It can now detect unauthorized software signatures with more improvements on the way. I'll be sharing details about that soon on my site under Guardian Labs. So tell me, how can you talk about my anti-cheat when you clearly have no idea how it works or what it even does?
And what does server integrated mean here? Integrated with the game servers? Because I'm highly doubtful of that. The only thing this can mean is that it's a client-side and server-side anti-cheat. But in all of his explanations of this system, he only talks about visual detections with AI and not hardware or software detections.
Client and server side? Are you kidding me? Stop trying to understand things you know nothing about.
Dude, that's like the purpose of knowledge gathering. That's the purpose of, like, that's the definition of becoming smarter. Is understanding things you don't know things about. What the fuck? You fucking freak. This person needs to be dissolved. This person needs to return to the ether. Holy fuck. They're not even a person. This clanker needs to be dismantled in front of its family. Holy shit, dude. You need to, like, rust.
The client runs on the local machine while the server runs, well, I will let you
Get this tin skin copperback off of my YouTube.
guess where that runs from. You just have no idea what you are talking about. I've spoken about my user mode anti-cheat for years across multiple videos. Many community members have tested it, downloaded different builds, and helped me fine-tune it. I've explained in depth how it works across multiple videos. You simply do no research at all. Yet, here you are, stepping in and assuming the TrueSight anti-cheat analysis tool is just some, quote, downloadable client. I have never once said that you can download it.
Dude, what the fuck is this? Library, compiler, programmer, and programmer has a bunch of games in it? What is this for? Zen Studio? E-E-N... Yeah, Zen Studio. This is like a mod pack. What are you showing
For a
this
start, it's a Python script with a set of installed libraries. And even if you had access to it, I guarantee you that you wouldn't know what it was or how to even run it. You're simply lying.
So he goes into his downloads. Dude, this is all in your downloads folder, so this isn't even yours. You're a random guy. You're LARPing. You're LARPing as a person who is actually working on an anti-cheat. Holy shit, it's in your downloads folder? Dude, Anybody who doesn't know what that means, this person downloaded random Python script to run to make it look like he's doing code. Python 675.py. Why is he blocking? What? Why does he censor that now? It's just admin. Dude, yeah, he's running a Python script to open the video.
Why should anyone trust anything else you say?
What he proposes is that the AI will detect where a player lands their crosshair or shot within a given area, called the bounding box.
So this is all essentially just randomized information.
False. It has absolutely nothing to do with firing your shots.
So that is just from that like little bit of code he showed, that is just randomized information showing over here. I am a Python programmer. That is just random code to randomize this stuff.
Nothing to do with recoil, no bullet drop off. You're just yapping to make it sound like you know what you're talking about, and then build an entire narrative out of your own lies. It's all about how you aim, not when you fire.
The problem is the UI he constantly overlays onto gameplay is not consistent, and it feels more like a slider he moves when he puts it over gameplay he thinks is cheated.
False. TrueSight's official channel features many streamers I originally suspected of cheating, but it turned out they weren't. For example, I was convinced that this guy was using something to assist his aim. I ran his gameplay through TrueSight and released a video that proved the opposite. I never would have known that without TrueSight. The anti-cheat analysis tool doesn't just catch people I think are cheating, it often does the opposite.
How do you know that's not a false negative?
While it certainly detects cheaters, it also provides a clear verification for others.
It's one of the things about speaking so concretely about computer vision is that one of the hardest things to do about computer vision is that it gives a ton of false positives and false negatives, and it's very hard to be certain of anything. And you can make like calculations where you don't need full accuracy, but to the point where you're like banning people for $60 purchases or more at this point. I don't think it's like a reliable method. I mean, it's getting better and better, of course, but like that's taking it at face value when this guy's just like lying out of his ass.
Many streamers on the channel have been vindicated thanks to this tool. So once again, you're simply lying.
Notice anything interesting about this Battlefield 5 gameplay? He forgot to change his model from Battlefield 6.
You cannot be serious. I've explained this many times, and the community can vouch for it. I made it clear that I don't have the datasets for Battlefield 6, so I used the Call of...
Here's what I'm thinking. He is a group of people, and he's like the editor. He's the person who actually controls the YouTube channel. And then there's somebody who's a coder, and that's the guy making Python scripts that is randomizing that UI on the left. And then there's probably another person who is getting the video, and maybe even another editor, because he's getting this all in kind of like one package, right? So you have one person who's sending like the Riley CS clip, and then you have the coder, and he's the person who's making all the random numbers, making the like Guardian TrueSight, player flagged, Battlefield 6 1.0, Battlefield 5 10.0. And then this guy, the editor, is the one who like actually like gets the AI and puts it all into a video together. And that's why it's in the downloads folders, because he's just downloading the coder guy's script, and then that's like running it on a specific video that's probably all uploaded on GitHub somewhere. GitHub in spelled the site wrong. No. Looking Looking for something. No, so it's not on there. All. Then quotation mark. No, I can't find it.
Call of Duty ones for Riley's gameplay. I never once showed the complete true site detections because I specifically said it would be unfair to apply Call of Duty datasets to Battlefield. The reason it says Battlefield 6 is because I was testing the Call of Duty datasets over Battlefield 6 gameplay. I even explained this in a video while showing exactly what I was doing across multiple videos. You do absolutely no research.
Notice the names of real people tied to university or company names? Notice the copyright cited for the images they include? Proper formatting? Proper source list? Notice how many other academic papers are linked in these sources? Now go back to the Call of Shame paper. Do you notice anything different? Ah, yes. Random articles and YouTube videos cited in his sources.
You mentioned that I didn't copyright any of the images. Because they are all my own images. It's my own software. This is Activision's white paper on ranked play matchmaking. But where is the copyright for the images? Oh, that's right. When a company posts a white paper using their own images, you don't need to do this. And as for me not sourcing other white papers, wrong again. Activision haven't done this. Do you know why? Because they don't need to. That's why.
Wait, it's spelled differently. I have here a different video, and it's not space between true and site.
Their references are actually their own white papers on similar subjects. When I write another white paper on my user mode anti-cheat, I'll also be linking it in my sources. I can't cite something I haven't written yet. Oh, and just to make you look even more like an idiot, I actually do link to multiple academic papers. Cast your eyes to section 14. This source cites a white paper on research on the application of artificial intelligence in online games. Source 16 links to a white paper on the new usage of telemetry for anti-cheating in FPS games. And source 17, this is a direct link to another white paper from the University of London talking about AI cheat detection. So once again, you're just yapping. You're literally looking at my sources and ignoring them. You don't even know what you're looking at. You just yap about things you know absolutely nothing about. You have tried so hard to discredit my white paper, it must be eating at your soul. It's hilarious. Oh, and as for my sources being some random articles and YouTube videos, I'm going to slow it down so everyone can see what a complete liar this person is. Take a look. Every source I've cited in the paper links directly to relevant anti-cheat AI detection articles, showing how effective AI can be at detecting cheats in multiplayer games. Every source matters, because my research is built on exactly that. This is my own research.
What? I'm looking through like Guardian Labs because Guardian TrueSight is ran by Guardian Labs, and I found this one website called Guardian AI Lab. And oh, okay, this is probably not what I'm looking for. So it's like running that. And so it's an AI like human conversational, and it has like workflow automation. LLM and generative AI, so maybe? I don't think so though. I'm looking up Guardian Labs. Can't find anything. But I have found a few things that are like AI and blockchain like automation. And if you look up Guardian True Site, it brings you to their website. But if you go to Guardian Labs, it says coming soon. So this is like not registered. If you look up any of that, it says copyright. Copyright. Well, there's no actual copyright for Guardian True Site. Copyright 2025. And so I don't think it is copyrighted. If you look it up, there's nothing. It's completely fake. It's completely fake.
And the sources I used are both relevant and essential to my paper. You tried to make it seem like they're random links, but they're not. The jealousy is eating you alive.
It's not, no, it's not that they're fake links, it's that you source them improperly.
I just find it hilarious that you used a clip of cheating from Caldera, a video I've already broken down many times in my own content. You tried to claim that this is soft aim and somehow nothing like what Riley is doing. Sorry, but I completely disagree. The fact that you
Are you saying sorry, but I completely disagree? You're calling him a Fruit Loop, a liar, a jealous prick, and everything under the moon.
Can't see the similarities honestly baffles me. I just found that part too funny not to include.
This is like actually disturbing me.
This screenshot instantly got shipped around to all the other channels covering this, and it's probably not even a real screenshot. We do love a little bit of deception.
Do you do any research at all? That screenshot came directly from Ender's own video.
And here's the appeal, here's the initial ban
Why the fuck would he know that it's from Enders?
that Riley sent me. The appeal was
Ender's own
bit of deception.
Do you do
this?
Enders isn't even that person that it's being there, is it? 10 IQ Gaming? That's somebody named Enders?
So just a quick video. I thought on up.
Not even a real screenshot. We do love a little bit of deception.
Do you do any research at all? That screenshot came directly from Ender's own video.
And here's the appeal, here's the initial ban that Riley sent me. The appeal was denied.
You're just making up lies, trying to paint me as a fraud over a screenshot.
And it's probably not.
Wait, so you didn't even get it from like a legitimate source? You got it from... Dude. This is a despicable fucking freak running this channel.
Not even a real screenshot. We do love a little bit of deception.
What deception are you even talking about? It's literally right there in front of you.
Talks about using this model in one of the first videos he made on Riley, saying computer cheats will just pick up the rhombus above players' heads, the little orange indicator. He then shows footage of Riley flicking to the rock, and shows this.
They often just look for that rhombus. That's why I found it interesting when this player snapped to a rock. Because with computer vision, this shape would be perfectly aligned. That little detail definitely caught my attention.
Except the biggest problem is the rhombus is always at the center of the screen. It's the objective marker. It's even at the center of the screen for the footage he or his AI chose to put here.
Why did you cut the clip? Why didn't you show the full explanation? Oh, right. Maybe because it didn't fit your narrative. You deliberately manipulated my video to make it seem like I was detecting stationary objects as false positives in a desperate
No, what? No, he didn't do that at all. What the fuck?
Manipulative attempt to discredit my anti-cheat analysis tool. Let's just play the
This
full
is not
clip
what
like you
happened.
should have done before cutting is short. Would be perfectly aligned. That
What a malicious fucking liar, dude.
detail definitely caught my attention. But these detections are poor, so it's finding clumps of leaves and everything. And this is why you can't just detect shapes. Now, I'm not saying 100% that he's using this. I can't. My model for Battlefield isn't fully ready yet, but I quickly discovered that wasn't effective because the system was also detecting other in-game rhombus shapes that weren't tied to enemies. I abandoned that approach and went back to my standard detection methods, which focus on identifying players.
But you reuse footage, so how is he supposed to know that you even had the rest of that clip?
Based on how they interact with the map. As you just heard, I clearly explained that I was testing new methods in Battlefield.
Also, you can hear that there's like a split in his voice from the section of the rhombus and the other section.
And I actually abandoned that approach after noticing it was giving false positives. You tried to make it appear as if I was using this in my model, when in reality I was testing different detection methods during the Battlefield beta to see what worked and what didn't. That's called research. Something you clearly don't understand the meaning of.
When you try to go download...
He's so bad at presenting information, dude. It's so crazy. That he's like trying to, or not he, it's an it, it's not a he. It's so crazy that it's trying to describe it this way whenever all of its information is like terrible. That's like the first time that I even referenced like a clip and like had any kind of evidence behind it, and I could like totally believe that it's like faulty.
The software, it just gives you a dead link.
What the hell do you think you are downloading? Where is the dead link? There is nothing on my website to download in terms of software. How can anyone be this badly confused? There is literally nothing to download. I mean, what? The rest of his video is just him rambling and circling back to evidence I've already debunked.
Well, if you try to... God. Guardian True Sight anti-cheat. Okay, so if you go home, there's the white paper. I am not downloading a random PDF. Visit YouTube examples.
We've spent months building Guardian True Sight, a next
No
generation
way.
anti-cheat system, and when players move, displays it in real. Entropy never decreases. Find it. Sounds like science fiction, right? Music. We don't track players aiming. We track.
So is this just like a secondary Call of Shame channel?
So 3-3, I'm just sitting here. Don't die, Chris.
I'm chilling.
All three are up right now. This is two different teams. Both in those cubbies and then one in your building. I'm getting sniped from Super. It's like top Super. Wait, it's damage.
Okay, peep this. Hold on.
Sorry, sniper top Super. Come here.
What is this video? So it's just running this for the entire time? So then the entropy gets lower. I thought it just said the entropy never goes lower, never decreases. So it's not trustworthy. No violations. Request review. So I guess another big issue with this is that you're relying on like video clips. You're relying on one, downloading software, but two, that the uploaded videos are like an actually good quality. You're looking for like computer vision pixel perfect detection.
You tried to debunk my work with maybe this and probably that. You're completely mixing up how anti-cheats work and what you're looking at. You took shots at my site, past employment, white paper, game battles history, and the software and failed miserably. It reeks of jealousy. Riley CS can't defend himself, so he depends on people like you to flat out lie and talk about things you know nothing about.
We've spent months building Guardian True Sight.
Meanwhile, the haters are constantly at my bones trying to drag me down in everything I accomplish. These little gremlins, They keep clawing at my ankles because they have nothing better to do with their pathetic, depressing little lives. Be constructive. Get off social media, focus on something meaningful, and stop obsessing over me. Everything you said is false, and you have lied about everything.
No, I think that, like, he made some conjectures that are very reasonable and very informed, and you have provided extremely, like, little and poor evidence for everything. That's what I think. You're running a second channel for Guardian True Sight that also provides nothing. The fuck, the link almost seems broken. You can't even see any of the links. There's no GitHub, there's no GitLab. You have no access to the code. And then go to the white paper, you have to download like a sketchy PDF file. You contact, there's just a weird contact party. I'm assuming Burin emailed. You go to Guardian Labs. This is probably the dead link he's referring to. This is just dead. If you go to the copyright, which you can't see, it doesn't exist. So this just seems fake.
And cutting clips to sell your fabricated lie is just embarrassing. Here's some advice. Don't waste your time on jealousy. Sometimes you're ahead, sometimes you're behind. The race is long, and in the end, it's only with yourself. You're now dismissed. Please be sure to like the video, and I'll be sure to keep you all updated on any new developments.
He said that, but then I think in a post he's like, I'm never talking about this again. So that's very cool. What a liar. What a weaselly little liar, dude. He didn't even fucking prove anything. He didn't prove that he was like a pro player. He didn't prove anything with game battles, that it's not like a faked screenshot or faked like video mousing over shit. Actually, if he's mousing over shit, that is totally fake then, right? Because you can't even access the website anymore. Unless you're going to a Wayback Machine, then that might not even be your account. Oh, that might be what it is. And that's why he's hiding the link. That's why he's hiding the names and the titles and everything and the account stuff. So then Call of Shame responded.
Supergirl AC. It's on the screen now and in the video description. Over the last few days, with editing and building her
to line up as well, you know. But guess what?
Ricochet does its best, but sometimes the community needs to help, and I am happy to oblige. I don't use any cheat software to complete my mission. Sometimes I win.
Oh, I fucking hate you!
Other times I lose.
Not today, Supergirl!
We can't let these cheating streamers bring us down. We need to keep hope. Hope. That when faced with an enemy, determined to destroy your spirit, you will fight back and thrive.
But guess what? This channel was just Call of Shame, cheating against streamers he didn't like. Using the Wayback
I'm just a gamer from Tennessee.
Machine, you can see that this used to be Call of Shame's second channel, called The Rat Files, using the image of Hit Girl, the 13-year-old superhero girl from the film Kick-Ass, a character he constantly portrays himself as while killing other streamers. Some of the text inconsistencies seem to line up as well. You know all that talk about ridding the gaming scene of cheaters and how they ruin games for people?
France.
Yeah, well, Call of Shame was just using the Supergirl account to cheat against streamers through stream sniping and aim hacks.
Full screen clips the whole time and out of nowhere. Oh, you had to make this one smaller. Holy lock on. Oh, Call of Shame.
Okay, I'm actually starting to get super tired. Feeling a bit ill. I'm actually gonna call it here. I wanted to get through this video, but I gotta go lay down. I gotta go to work tomorrow. So this was a fucking insane story. I will probably try to watch it on Thursday. Before I do like a Charlie Kirk special. I do want to give a shout out to Harmful Opinions if you want to get some more stuff. Call of Shame's Creepy Secret is a very good video on it. And I'm gonna get out of here. I think I might turn this into a video. Coder! Python Coder reviews Call of Shame. Something like that. But I'm just being imaginative while I'm fucking tired as fuck. He just went on vacation, so that's why there's not too many videos at the moment. So I recommend, if you're interested in that, go watch it. I know this is kind of like old drama. It's 2 weeks old. Oopsie, I'm late. But I really wanted to see how this turned out, and I've been meaning to get to it for a while now. So yeah, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed. I hope I added something at least. For coding, I definitely felt like I did. And yeah, have a wonderful night. Hopefully see you Thursday. Bye.